Windham, Cheverus, it's a game of the week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners Studios. This Central Maine Community College Hem and Lumber game of the week on Maine's Big Z 92.7. The video stream is brought to you by MBR.org, Maine's best resource for sports. Again, live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners Studio and the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Coach Mike Haley continues with us now. He hung on with us through the break there to hang out. So I really like coming here to Windham. You seem to come here quite often. You know, you live in Auburn too, so you know.
In Auburn, yeah. I have a kind of a long time affinity for Windham in that my grandson, Jack Malice, Fitzpatrick winner, played here, and so I got in the habit of coming and enjoy the atmosphere, and I enjoy the level of play here too.
I always have
You're always
too.
going to see a good game.
Well, it was great when they did the reclassification because the reclassification set it up so that these teams could play the Edward Littles and the Lewistons and stuff like that. What do you I had Coach Wing in the studio. At some point, we're gonna have to get you in there as well. Now that we're on daily from 10 to 12, we're gonna have to get you in there.
Yeah, love to do it.
I don't know what you and I and Steve would possibly talk about. Maybe the Yankees for 2 hours.
Oh,
but
geez, I don't have any idea.
No, we could just talk about the old days. It would be fine.
Why not?
It's no big deal. It's
Why
just
not?
fun. You could tell that Ricky Henderson story. We've always liked that one.
Yeah.
But regardless, as I sit here looking back, and we talked with Jason Fuller about Lewiston in the new fields they're about to get. Talk a little bit about what that's going to change for them, because it's going to be a whole new world, I think, for Lewiston athletics.
It will. I'll tell you, one of the big things is it will. I'll be totally surprised if it doesn't attract more kids into the athletic programs. Now, I'm not talking just football, but I'm talking all of their programs, because it's the old story. If you look good, you play good. If you have an opportunity to play in a facility that they're going to have, I think kids will really want to be a part of that. I think it'll be exciting to watch that.
No, I think you're right. I think it's going to be pretty. I mean, you've seen what's happened with the soccer program. I mean, the cheering program is pretty good too. So it'll be good to start seeing that rolling through and seeing big things getting hosted in the central Maine-ish area instead of having to go down south.
Yale's got a new school around the corner.
Right.
So, and it'll be interesting to see where they put it and how much they do with in the way of fields.
What we've only had, normally at this time, we've only had a couple of weeks. But the kids had 2 weeks this year, and it's almost like they got that extra week. It seems like a little bit, they're back to school this week, but they've had like an extra week of practice. So they had scrimmages, they had everything else last week. Do you think maybe we're going to see a little bit better in terms of quality of play maybe this week as opposed to, say, last year, for example, when we didn't? It was it seemed kind of choppy the last couple of years, just to start with week one.
I understand what you're saying. And from a coaching point of view, you like the long range think, and you like to be able to plan out your work all the way through preseason, before preseason obviously, but all the way through, so that you have a solid idea of what you're going to cover, what you're going to put in for an offense, what you're going to put in for defense, what days you're going to put them in, what days you're going to scrimmage, what days you're going to work more on conditioning. So all of that, I think, they've been able to do that with the time frame they're working in this year.
Talking with Mike Haley. You already ready for the Lobster Bowl next year? You already ready to go? You got next year's all set? You got it all planned? You got all the workers, everything?
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We meet once a month all through the winter, and the closer we get to the game, then the more intense it becomes, and more refined it becomes. Yeah, it's quite a process. It's 28 years now. I was involved I was chosen to coach in the very first game, and that was the year that I left Yale and went to Maine Maritime. So the NCAA has rules about college coach can't coach in a All-Star game like that. So I couldn't coach, but I was involved in the planning of it, and I've been involved ever since. Yeah. It's quite an organization.
They should have you and Wayne coach it some year. Wayne can coach one side, you can coach the other. It'd be a good way to do it.
That would be
That'd
very interesting.
I could see that. I could see that happening. Well, it's time for AC/DC. We'll take a break. Mike, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Always good to have you on, my friend.
I'm always glad to be here.
I can't talk right now because he's shaking my hand. So, Nick Perry has told those stories on these airs many times before. Cheverus, Windham, we're getting the season started in just a little bit. It's a rematch of the Northern A regional semis from last year. More on the way on Maine's Big Z. MBR.org from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners Studios. Catch it on demand afterwards at MBR.org. The video will be right there. We will be right back.
Do you want to start college this fall but thought it was too late? Central Maine Community College in Auburn is offering a special delayed start fall term with 9 classes beginning in late September. 7 of the classes will meet twice a week on campus and 2 will be online. For more information about this special fall term option, contact admissions at 755-5273 or email enroll@cmcc.edu. Get started today at CMCC, Turner Street in Auburn.
Kyle Churchill is someone who knows what he wants to do in life. For starters, he wants to work outside, even in the winter, doing physical work and breathing fresh air. He also wants to help other people get what they want. And at Hammond Lumber Company, Kyle gets to do both.
I was really attracted to the career of the job, something that I can spend a life doing and paying something into my retirement. I started off order picking, and then from there I went to driving the Hammond trucks, making deliveries, and then I worked in the pine bin, and that's where I am now. It's where I'm the happiest. I get to wait on customers. I easily take care of 50 to 100 customers in a day. The most satisfying part of the job is probably seeing those people come back and greet me by name. And this is what I like doing for a very long time.
If you've got a building project to do and you'd like to deal with someone like Kyle Churchill, who's happiest when he's helping others, then talk with the people at Hammond Lumber.
There's a winning culture when it comes to sports teams in New England. And now there's a new winning team to add to the list. Spectrum Orthopedics, an all-star roster of orthopedic experts delivering top care right here in your backyard. Spectrum Orthopedics is made up of 3 of the area's top orthopedic practices: OA Centers for Orthopedics, Central Maine Orthopedics, and Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Spectrum Orthopedics makes it easier for physicians, surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and clinical staff to share resources and work as one, making patient care efficient and more affordable. To learn more about Spectrum Orthopedics and connect with a provider in your area, visit spectrumhcp.com/ortho.
You're listening to a Gleason Media Sports broadcast on WEZR-FM Norway, WEZR Lewiston, WOXO South Paris, WOXO-FM Mexico, and WTME Rumford.
Welcome back. We'll have more as there's a moment of silence here at Windham. Be right back on that.
As he moves on to another position in the turf management profession. Mike, at this time, would you please come forward to accept a plaque for Mr. Rossetti, recognizing you for your dedication to RSU 14. Thank you, Mike. Good luck. Now for the introductions.
Yeah, I was like, who is that? He's behind number 54, or in front of number 54.
We are live at Windham High School. Game of the week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners Studios. We'll have the introductions for you in just a moment. Matt Boutwell, Steve Flynn with you here on MBR.org. Game of the week on Maine's Big Z 92.7. Also heard on Sports Time Maine, sportstimemaine.com as well. It's a rematch of last year's Northern A semifinals. Windham won that game 9-7, went on to fall to Portland in the regional final last year. Portland then, of course, lost in the state title game. This is not what we're used to weather-wise, Steve. You mentioned this earlier on the show. Normally we're looking at cramping and things of that nature during this time frame.
Yeah, typically we see a lot more heat. We see the hot weather play a little bit more of a factor early on in the season, weeks 1, 2, sometimes even all the way into week 3. But week 1, right away, we've got a couple of different issues. We've got dropping temperatures, and we've got some pretty good winds. So special teams, the kicking game, punting, and kickers, saw them warm up a little bit pregame. It's going to play a factor.
Now everybody gets introduced as a team.
Oh, the
That's
trendy.
cool. Yeah, the trendy.
Yeah. Who
That's
started that, by
is
the way?
Eagles have elected to be introduced as a team.
Hey!
Yay, all right. There you go. All right. Their introductions.
So do we need to even have sort of the pomp and circumstance? Here comes the starting lineups.
I don't think we need to do that anymore.
When will we start introducing both teams collectively? How about that?
It's a good question. Let's take a quick break back to the studio. We'll keep it here for the video for the national anthem.
If you're thinking about a new deck for your home, the people at Hammond Lumber Company and AZEK Building Products are ready to help. By the way, that's AZEK, A-Z-E-K. AZEK decking is engineered to be so durable and long-lasting that it comes with a lifetime limited warranty. AZEK withstands staining from messy spills and is resistant to mold, mildew, scratching, and splitting. Moisture and insects, no problem. Hammond Lumber carries the largest AZEK inventory in Maine and will help you design your deck for free, even help you find an installer if you need one. And of course, Hammond will deliver your AZEK order also for free within striking distance of any Hammond store, usually within 24 hours. So check out AZEK decks from Hammond Lumber at 1-866-HAMMOND toll-free or online at hammondlumber.com. 1-866-HAMMOND and hammondlumber.com.
There's a winning culture when it comes to sports teams in New England. And now there's a new winning team to add to the list. Spectrum Orthopedics, an all-star roster of orthopedic experts delivering top care right here in your backyard. Spectrum Orthopedics is made up of 3 of the area's top orthopedic practices: OA Centers for Orthopedics, Central Maine Orthopedics, and Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Spectrum Orthopedics makes it easier for physicians, surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and clinical staff to share resources and work as one, making patient care efficient and more affordable. To learn more about Spectrum Orthopedics and connect with a provider in your area, visit spectrumhcp.com/ortho.
Do you want to start college this fall but thought it was too late? Central Maine Community College in Auburn is offering a special delayed start fall term with 9 classes beginning in late September. 7 of the classes will meet twice a week on campus and 2 will be online. For more information about this special fall term option, contact admissions at 755-5273 or email enroll@cmcc.edu. Get started today at CMCC, Turner Street in Auburn.
Welcome back. Teams are out there getting set for the kickoff, coin toss.
Captains for Windham are Connor McInnes, Tanner Grover, and Tanner Bernier. Zeb Levitt, one of the 3 captains for Cheverus.
You also got a young Steve Nelson in there and Bobby Holzhacker.
Wow.
Does
Love
he
the
not
number,
look
love
like a
the
little?
name.
Yeah. I mean, that's a killer football name right there. Absolutely killer
Holzhacker.
football name.
Heck
Also,
yeah.
Griffin Watson, I believe. No, it's Max Coffin, who was the other.
Max Coffin it is.
We're live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. It's a game of the week. Video stream at mbr.org on YouTube. Be there, be square.
You and Coach Haley had a great conversation at the start of this broadcast about these 2 teams, that 9-7 game. That game was a 22-yard field goal that got blocked in the last 30 seconds of that football game. Prior to that meeting, Windham had met Cheverus 3 times last year. Won 2 of those 3. So I'll tell you what, these teams were very evenly matched last year. It's going to be interesting to see what they come out with here in week 1. Get started with Coach Wolfgram, obviously a different factor that wasn't involved last year, back on the sidelines for the Stags. I think Coach Perkins is ready for him. I'll tell you, each team has really done their fair share of the work to get ready for this exact point, this moment. And we're ready to start several months of preparation and get the high school football season ready to go.
You always know it's that time of year when the sun starts setting right in front of you here at Windham.
Kickoff number 2 for us today.
Yes, kickoff number 2. If you missed the B-List Daily, we had Michael Hoffer on earlier. We also had Coach Perkins from Windham on earlier. Catch those interviews on demand now at MBR.org. Cam Harris will kick it off. And away it goes. It will not be a deep kick. Actually, it'll be fielded by the up back. That'll be Garrett Peoples. He's going to continue up past the 40 out to the 42-yard line. Windham Eagles will start off with excellent field position to start off this game. No score here in the first.
Looked like Harris might have clipped the nose of that football down low. It kind of popped it up in the air, end over end. Didn't go very far, but Peoples couldn't advance it far either. So the Eagles will get it with decent field territory here.
Eagles thought they might have been a year early last year. Then Coach Perkins said today that felt that maybe they didn't quite play up to the moment. A lot of shifting on offense. Back to pass to start, and that's going to be incomplete as Bernier's pass is dropped on the slant. It was intended for Mr. Coffin, Hunter Coffin to be precise. Second down, 11:52 remaining in the first quarter.
Bernier, certainly a name we recognize from the baseball side of things. We've seen him play at the varsity level here for Coach Perkins for a couple of years.
Bernier in shotgun. Hands it off. That is going to be Salem, and he's not going to get much. In fact, he's going to lose yardage back to the 40-yard line. Cheverus' defense stout on that one, and it's going to set up a 3rd and long for the Eagles.
There is a space eater in the middle. Big Zeb Levitt, the senior offensive and defensive lineman for the Stags. I'll tell you what, you're going to want to run around him because through him is not going to be much of an option. That O-line for Windham is going to get off the ball very quickly and get him sealed off.
Peoples out far right towards us, near side right, excuse me. Bernier rolls out to pass, looking for Peoples on the outside, and that's going to be short, incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 11:10 remaining in the first quarter. Windham Eagles 3 and out to start their year, and they're going to punt. Watson will be back to return it for Cheverus.
Not much doing that time for Bernier, rolling out to his right-hand side. Had a receiver down the field, but well covered. Got to credit Cheverus that time for the good stop on the first series.
Bernier's punt is away. Bounces at the 30. Takes a little roll for Windham. Down to the 26-yard line. Actually, maybe we'll call it the 26-yard line. 26 and a half, if you want to be precise. Right to left goes Cheverus. Their road whites with the gold pants, gold helmets. Windham in their home maroon with white pants, maroon trim, and their eagle helmets.
Now, I apologize to the listeners at home that cannot see what we can see here on the video stream and live in color. Maddie, don't look into the sun. We're looking right into the sun, sir.
Right.
Watch those eyes, sir.
Well, there was an eclipse last week. Aren't I blind?
Be careful.
Conant under center. Going to hand it off, and that's going to be a run to the outside. That will be Coffin, and he's going to get taken down. 2nd and long.
Looked like the tackle that made that time by Henderson. Nazari Henderson, very active. Got to the backfield quickly. Not much gain at all.
I believe Coffin was involved as well.
2nd and 10.
11 minutes, clock ticking, just underway here at Windham. Cheverus, Windham, here on MBR.org. It's the game of the week. Radio Maine's Big Z 92-7. Conan under center. One back behind him. Now they're going to send it back in motion. That will be Coffin. He's going to go off the right side. Follow some blockers. Out past the 30, after the 32. The ball came loose, and Windham has it.
Boy, it looked like Coffin was going to get brought down to the ground, and just as he was going to go down and be marked down, the ball popped loose.
And Grant Jacobson popped out of the pile with it.
Boy, what a turn of events that time. Nice job up front. Looked like Coffin had a lane to run back to the right-hand side. Eagles did a nice job pursuing him defensively and stripping the ball out. Now they're going to get the ball in Cheverus territory.
A wise man told me to look for play action here. A wise man. Except the official's going to take a timeout real quick.
Oh, they're going to make sure the sticks are in the right.
Got to move the chains.
Right, yeah, that's right.
New volunteers this year for the? No, that's Mr. Charles over there. He knows what's going on.
Got to remember, Windham's got the ball now, so
yes.
The sticks go that way.
Yeah, we're going the other way. 10:36 remaining in the first quarter. Second possession for Windham after the turnover. Handoff's going to go up the middle. It's a nice little run there, up past the 25, down to the 24-yard line. That was Salem.
Tell you, Salem, not a big, imposing running back, does a nice job keeping his pad level low. He stays well below the pad level of the offensive lineman. He's tough to spot in there. He's going to he can squirt loose pretty quickly.
10-10 remaining in the first quarter. 2nd and 4 for Windham. Be another handoff. That'll be Salem, and he lost the ball.
I think Windham might have recovered
I assume it was recovered by Windham because I don't see. Normally there's this great big sort of momentum shift after that, and everybody just kind of let it go. So
it was early contact that time.
That was a heck of a hit
on Salem, yeah, and then after he was contacted, he got hit, popped it loose.
Salem treated that like it was a goal line play. He jumped right into it. Handoff again, and Salem keeps running, keeps his legs rolling. And I believe it's going to be short of the first down by about a yard.
Yeah.
Make 4th and short.
They'll have about a yard to go on this. I don't think there's any chance Coach Perkins is going to try to kick this one. I think he feels pretty confident right now in how well his offensive line is getting off the football. Now might be the time for that play action, at least to Salem.
See if you run something out of the backfield here. Also, you have Peoples on the outside. Might throw a jump ball there, too. And ball's dropped to the backfield, and Bernier's going to have to run it himself. Can he get the first down? He gets around the corner.
He's got to get a touchdown.
15, 10, 5, touchdown, Windham.
Well, I mean, I guess it works like play action if you don't hand it off to the guy you intended to hand it off to and then run all the way around the end. I'll tell you, a busted play. Bernier couldn't hold on to it and hand it off to Salem. Able to collect it, run around that right edge, and once he beat that final tackle box, all the way to the end zone. First touchdown of the year, Matty.
24-yard run for Bernier, just the way they drew it up. 6-0. Windham. Point after pending. Kick is down, almost blocked. Kick is good. Windham leads 7-0 over Cheverus. And it just shows you how turnovers can switch it just like that. Windham comes out, 3 and out early. Looks like Cheverus, they get a good solid first play. They run it on the second play. Sure enough, they fumble. Windham's offense comes out, all of a sudden looks totally different. And then on 4th down, get a break.
I'll tell you who I credit for that. That falls to me on Coach Perkins. That's allowing a group of kids to go out, take a 3-and-out series, go back out there with a defensive unit, force a turnover, then go down and score. That's what a veteran coach can get out of his team. Nice job there by the Eagles.
Let's take a quick break here for a station identification here on Maine's Big Z. It's the MBR Game of the Week, brought to you by Spectrum Healthcare Partners from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners studio.
Do you want to start college? You're
listening to a Gleason Media Sports broadcast on WEZR FM Norway, WEZR Lewiston, WOXO South Paris, WOXO FM Mexico, and WTME Rumford.
Welcome back. Those commercials still not quite where I wanted them. Getting them there, though. Windham 7, Cheverus nothing. Game of the week. 92-7. Maine's Big Z and on MBR.org. from the Spectrum Healthcare Partner Studios. Windham will kick it off after the burn your touchdown run, and a little squib kick. Did it go the 10 yards? Yeah, it did. And it's on the
Still
ground.
didn't get it. I
Still
think
in
Windham's
front of
going
us.
to get it.
I think Cheverus ended up with it. That was a long time coming. Cheverus football. Whew. I mean, I normally see scrums like that on the basketball court, but that took forever. And a good job by the up back there as well, because it was at the 49 and he let the ball go through his legs.
Yeah, not to touch it, right?
Not to touch it, because if not,
that's
a dead ball.
Yep, absolutely. It was Gavin Callahan that ended up collecting the football for the Stags and still had trouble hanging on to it, but able to gain possession. And Cheverus will get their second offensive turn here against the Eagles defense.
Cheverus at the 43-yard line. Good field position to start here. They're down 7-0. 8:55 remaining in the first quarter. Conan under center sends a man in motion, and that's going to be a false start because you had two men shifting, jumping at once. Can't do that. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. 1st and 15. Very un-Cheverus-like start here, Steve.
I was just going to say that's something you don't see a whole lot from the Cheverus Stags. Usually a little bit more disciplined on the line of scrimmage there. You know that'll be a coaching point for certain here when this unit gets off the field.
I'll move it back to the 38-yard line. The sun has gone down. Just in time now. Just in time.
Thank you.
Yes. Also, make sure you stay tuned. Johnny Mailer will be putting out highlights on social media after this one, including exclusive post-game content on MBR Radio and courtesy of our friends at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. Sack! Back at the 35-yard line. Conant goes down. He hung in the line there for a little bit, and the pressure just got to him.
Campy, I think they said, was the tackler.
Anthony Kilgallen was down by his feet as well.
Boy, credit to Conant for staying in there. I mean, he stood right in the pocket. He wasn't trying to get out. He stayed in there, trying to keep his eyes down the field.
2nd and 18.
Always interested to see the coaches that have their quarterbacks run over and get the plays. A lot of action.
Conant under center. I formation behind him. Receiver out to the far side right. Almost missed the handoff. And my guess is that Finn Cawley wishes he did, because he got tackled at the 39-yard line. Conant got racked in the backfield as well, and all of a sudden Windham looks like a completely different team after starting the game off for 3-0.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there was one of the defenders for Windham. I think it was number 34, Valaire, got into the backfield and laid an absolute blast of a hit on Conant. He's going to remember him. You can bet he'll remember him.
Conant under center. 3rd and 18. Lost another snap, and he's going to go down again. Windham's defense is on fire. Trevor Valaire snaps it back, and it's going to be long, 4th and long for Cheverus.
Look, you can't complete a pass until you get the ball from the center. You got to make sure that center quarterback exchange, it's really such one of those fundamental things, and Cheverus having trouble with it right now. Cost them on that drive.
Kick is away, good one. Fielded by Henderson at the 40 to the 47, and good open field tackle there by Nathan Dunn, the senior.
Wow, that was a heck of a tackle.
Wasn't it? I mean, that's a
92. Okay,
yeah.
82 kicked it, but 92 made the tackle.
92 made the tackle, yeah.
For a second there, we're far enough away. I thought, wow, there's no way he kicked that and ran down and made that kind of a tackle.
That reminds me of being an only child growing up and throwing the football high over the power cord so I could catch it on the other side.
I've seen Mr. Perfect do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was different, though. He was Mr. Perfect. He could also chew gum up in the air and smack it away, too. 6:30 remaining in the first quarter, 7-0. Windham with a lead. Bernier back to pass, looking, throws. That's going to be over everybody, but you're going to have illegal contact out here on the near side. Henderson got tangled up out there, so I'm not sure if this is going to be offensive or defensive.
I want to know what they're going to call this, because I had my eyes on him. I think it's going to be defensive. Henderson ran straight off the line and right into the guy that was covering. He just ran right into his pads. And I think they're going to call contact down the field and give Windham at least 5.
That'll be on Colley, and that'll be an automatic first down.
Maybe not, though.
No,
offensive.
They called offensive pass interference on Nazari Henderson. So,
okay.
6:26 remaining in the first quarter.
Huh. Not the kind of mistakes either team wants here early in week 1. Got to be more disciplined here. We're not even halfway through the first quarter.
1st and 20. Handoff, Salem, up to the 40. Gain of 3. 2nd and 17.
My guess is Henderson and Finn Colley are going to have a heck of a night covering each other down the football field. They've had some pretty good contact well beyond the line of scrimmage.
I think that one might last for a while this evening. I'm excited we remembered the windsocks.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Key. Didn't need a homemade windsock.
Huge.
We know where to go if we need one.
Bernier sends Henderson in motion. Handoff is faked. Bernier's going to bounce it outside himself. He's going to lose yard. Then he's going to get down the sidelines thanks to a nice block. They're going to say he's inbounds, and he's going to get to the 41-yard line of Cheverus. 5:40 remaining in the first quarter, and Tanner Bernier keeping the Eagles in it. Normally Eagles known for soaring. Bernier doing it with his legs.
I'll tell you, Bernier was on the scramble that time, and Big Zeb Levitt had him in the crosshairs and was just zoning him in. Everybody took a collective breath, and then it was Grant Jacobson that absolutely decleated Levitt with a beautiful block, sprung Bernier loose for another 15 yards.
Bernier, Henderson, little quick slip screen. He's going to go up the middle and stopped at the 41-yard line. Gain of 1. It looked pretty, but was not a big yardage gainer.
I got to tell you, this Windham Football Club looks like it's playing with a lot of confidence. They look very, very comfortable with what they're doing. Very, very self-confident.
There was a little bit of concern around Windham this week after the last week's preseason performance against Thornton Academy. So,
hey, it's Thornton.
Quieting them out, and that's kind of what it is. It's also preseason. Handoff, Salem up to the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3.
That run right there opens up a ton for Windham. They have got to protect that run up the middle because Salem is just gouging them between the tackles. The more they pull guys into the middle, the more it's going to open up people's on the outside.
Third
now, I think Kirk Perkins is perfectly comfortable continuing to hand the ball off and just grind the clock down.
3rd and 3, 4:35 remaining in the first quarter. Windham 7, Cheverus nothing. Bernier hands it off. That will not be Salem. Instead, it will be a first down into the hands of number 25, Tanner Grover.
And Tanner Grover is a slight change of pace
a little bit
from Salem.
He's got that glide to him, doesn't he?
Thunder and lightning. I mean, that is, he's got a much bigger build. Still moves very, very light on his feet. Moves with a lot of power, though.
Kind of Eddie Georgian.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Great comparison.
Upright. 1st and 10. Handoff again, and he's going to keep it trucking inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. Tanner Grover.
Getting it done up front is the offensive line for the Windham Eagles right now. They are getting off the ball quick. That first step, sealing off the hole on the left-hand side. And then you got to be happy with a guy like Grover who's following blocks in the right way.
Bernier back to pass, throws off his back foot, incomplete. Dangerous pass. Dangerous pass.
Not a pass you want to see him make.
That's one of those things where I look at the kid and I say, "Are you John Elway?" And he says, "No."
No.
I say,
okay.
"Well, then don't throw that ball."
Don't make that pass. Don't make that pass. I love the effort, the creativity. Execution, though. Execution. Know what you are capable of. Stay within yourself. Important at the high school level.
Bernier has everybody where he wants them. Salem now is going to take it. He's going to run it off the right side. Little spin move down to the 20. It'll be 3rd and short. Or will he? We'll see. Yep, 4th and short. Another 4th and short from right about the same territory they had it last time. Now, do you just skip it on the ground to Bernier this time?
Yeah.
Or maybe do you?
Well,
looks like they're going to go with a quick sneak.
Spike.
Did he spike it? Did he spike it on 4th down? I feel like there was a little bit of a... Are they going to call that intentional grounding? I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what happened here.
I don't know about this one.
An intentional ground. I just saw an intentional ground on a 4th down, right?
I'm pretty sure I just saw intentional grounding on 4th down.
Whoa. What happened?
Or did it get wiped off? It got wiped off? Nope. It did not get wiped off. I've never seen that before. Never seen that one before. That's a new one. So on 4th down, lost track of the downs. Bernier spiked it into the ground on 4th.
Lost track of the downs, saw the count going off in the background, didn't want that delay a game.
So Cheverus takes over on downs.
Okay.
Which you will not see.
No, you won't see that.
Typically in that manner.
All right, how do they respond? What do they do from here?
And Conant can't hang on to the ball. Ball's loose again. And Windham is back on it. And just like that, cue the yakety sax, Steve.
Hey, look, how you respond to adversity, right? How you respond to adversity. Strip that, get in, get the ball back. You know, right away the message is we lost the football, get it back. Get in there, get your hand on it, strip it, punch it, knock it loose, get it back.
Conant has had issues with that snap all game long. All game long, Conant has had issues with that snap. Came back to bite Cheverus again. Another turnover for Cheverus. After getting the gift of the gifts of the year on the previous series.
Yeah, they have literally the ball handed to you.
7-0 Windham. 3:10 remaining in the first quarter. Ball at the Cheverus 20-yard line. Bernier's going to keep it himself. Runs off the right side. Gets around the corner. Inside the 5. Cuts it back. And he's going to be down at the 11-yard line. Gain of 9.
Boy, I'll tell you, he's not the fastest guy out there, Tanner Bernier, but he's getting to the right spot and at the right time. That's putting him in a position to pick up big chunks of yards. And if they bite on Salem's fake, which, look, he's been gouging him, so you got to account for him. You got to put a couple of helmets on him. Second you put more than one helmet on Salem, that frees up Bernier.
Under 3 minutes remaining. Clock actually stopped there because Bernier got, oh, they're going to restart now. They're actually going to call it a first down. 1st and 10. Bernier looking to the sidelines. I guarantee you he's not getting the clock play right now.
No clock play.
He's not getting
no clock play.
No. Bernier is going to fake the handoff and follow his blockers inside the 10 down to the 8. Not as quite a big of a gain there. Gain of 2.
I like the keeper. I always like the keeper as a play, but if I see a keeper, I like to go to an edge. One side or the other, not necessarily, in that 2 gap.
2:15 remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 Windham over Cheverus. Windham driving after the turnover. Handoff, Salem. He gets up the middle to about the 7. That'll be a gain of another 2. Maybe 3. Make it 3rd and 3.
Playing with the benefit of the 1 score in your back pocket here. Knowing that you're up 7 points. There's no need to press here.
This is a big game for both teams. Much like UNH and Maine last night in college football, this is a big rivalry game for opening night. Bernier takes a snap, rolls out, looking left, throws, caught, touchdown. Peoples. 13-0 Windham.
That was an out pattern that time by Peoples. He ran his route perfectly into the end zone. Bernier rolled out to his left-hand side, able to square up his shoulders and get that left shoulder pointed down the field. Made a good, accurate throw. Peoples able to collect it, get both feet in bounds, and a 13-point lead here for the Eagles.
Kick is up, and it's good. And just like that, with a click of a mouse switch, 14-0 Windham with the lead. It's game of the week. Windham, Cheverus, Spectrum Healthcare Partners Studios. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after about a minute.
There's a winning culture when it comes to sports teams in New England. And now there's a new winning team to add to the list. Spectrum Orthopedics, an all-star roster of orthopedic experts delivering top care right here in your backyard. Spectrum Orthopedics is made up of 3 of the area's top orthopedic practices: OA Centers for Orthopedics, Central Maine Orthopedics, and Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Spectrum Orthopedics makes it easier for physicians, surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and clinical staff to share resources and work as one, making patient care efficient and more affordable. To learn more about Spectrum Orthopedics and connect with a provider in your area, visit spectrumhcp.com/ortho.
Welcome back. It's a game of the week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners Studios on MBR.org. Radio coverage remains Big Z 92.7 online, MBR.org. If you need to listen to the audio there, that's fine. You can do that while you're driving. Maybe you're driving out in the middle of nowhere. That's all good. Windham is up 14-0. Kick is away. That's going to be Griffin Watson. He's going to get down the sidelines, and Cheverus is going to get a little bit of energy there as he gets out past the 40, out to the 43-yard line down the right sideline. 1:34 remaining in the first quarter, and Cheverus down 14-0 needs something to go right. First thing they can start with is possibly getting some clean snaps back to the quarterback.
That's going to be the key right here, Matty. Can they get the ball? Can Conant get the ball from the center and actually generate some offense? I mean, Cheverus has got to generate something and push the defensive unit for the Eagles back a little bit. Otherwise, their defensive unit, the Stags' defensive unit, is going to get tired. Windham's had the football for the majority of this first quarter.
14-0, Windham with the lead. Handoff is going to be to the big back, and that is going to be Finn Cawley. We call him Adventure Time. He goes past the 45 out to the 47. Yeah. Isn't that Jake and Finn, right?
It is.
Something like that?
It absolutely is.
I've watched it a couple times. I can't get into it. It's just not my thing.
That's what, a 4-yard gain? That's the best offensive play that Cheverus has had tonight. That's the most successful offensive play they've had.
They're actually going to give him 5, so it's even better than that. So, good start for Cheverus here, at least on this drive. Not for the game so far, down 14-0 after 2 turnovers. Handoff. Going to be a sweep off the left side, and not much doing there. Bernier with a tackle. Max Coffin hit the deck. Maybe a gain of 1.
Speed of the Eagles defense able to outrun the blocking scheme that the Stags had thrown up. That time trying to get Coffin to the outside edge. Eagles are just quicker. They're able to contain him. I don't think there's going to be much on the outside for Cheverus. Their best chance of breaking anything is going to be inside the tackles, if anything.
20 seconds remaining. Clock running. This will probably be the final play of the quarter, unless it's an incomplete pass, of course. Conant back to pass, rolling, looks, throws. It is caught, but an excellent open field tackle prevents Watson from taking off, and it'll be 4th down. I believe that was Nazari Henderson on that tackle.
It was 24 on 24. Watson with the catch and Henderson on the tackle.
24 on 24 crime there. That will wrap up the first quarter. End of 1. Cheverus trails Windham 14-0. It's the game of the week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners Studios on MBR.org, radio on Maine's Big Z 92.7. We'll be right back.
There's a winning culture when it comes to sports teams in New England. And now there's a new winning team to add to the list. Spectrum Orthopedics, an all-star roster of orthopedic experts delivering top care right here in your backyard. Spectrum Orthopedics is made up of 3 of the area's top orthopedic practices: OA Centers for Orthopedics, Central Maine Orthopedics, and Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Spectrum Orthopedics makes it easier for physicians, surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and clinical staff to share resources and work as one, making patient care efficient and more affordable. To learn more about Spectrum Orthopedics and connect with a provider in your area, visit spectrumhcp.com/ortho.
Welcome back. Game of the week on MBR.org. Watch it on the YouTube channel MBR Sport. 14-0. Windham leads Cheverus. Start of the second quarter. Nazari Henderson will take the fair catch at the 24-yard line for Windham. Windham is flipped sides of the field. They will go right to left across your radio dial or your video screen, depending on how you're watching / listening, consuming this game. Is consuming considered the one word there, probably?
I think that's a good word. I think that's adequate.
Tanner Bernier, leader in the clubhouse for player of the game.
Right now, he certainly is. I'll tell you what, he's controlling the offensive unit for the Eagles, chewing up all kinds of possession time. I mean, the Eagles have just done a nice job establishing the line of scrimmage, imposing their will, and we would expect more of the same. A couple of lazy and kind of bad plays we don't expect.
Handoff is going to be to Salem, and he is going to get to the 29-yard line, gain a 5.
14-point lead. You are taking as much time as you can with every play call. You are grinding the clock down with a good, solid technical run. That sets up for play action because you can lull the defense down a little bit. They're expecting you to not do too much or not be too aggressive. You strike at the right time. Make this a 3-score game pretty quick.
Another handoff. Salem, he's going to get some downhill running room. He's going to break a couple of tackles over the 35-yard line out to the 36. First down. Good, tough running there by Salem.
He's a heck of a runner. He hits the hole well, hits the hole with good speed, and he's got good timing. You know, one of the important things about a running back is after he's handed the football, does he get there at the appropriate time when the blocks are developing in front of him?
You know, he reminds me of another running back who used to play here. Took a long time for him to get down, wasn't all that tall. I believe we talked about him in the pregame show, Jack Malice. I see some stunning similarities here. 1st and 10, Bernier back to pass, looking, throws, has a man, Henderson just over the outstretched fingers at the 30-yard line.
He was there. He was there. That was there. That was there. And credit to Bernier, he saw it early. He saw that Henderson had the coverage beat. He had him downfield by at least a step, if not a step and a half. Just overthrew him. Wow. We'll see that one again.
We'll see that one again, and we'll probably see it completed.
Yeah.
And Henderson is so mad right now, he's kicking mouthpieces. Man. Bernier did a good job, too. He was under pressure. Let go of it just in time.
Got a good throwing lane.
10:52 remaining on the first half. Handoff, Salem. Go back to what got you here, and this time Cheverus waiting for it.
That was Salem.
Nathan Dunn in it again, along with Gallardo. Gallardo, the typical Tim Goad-esque type of nose tackle for Cheverus. Not super tall, but gets right on the ground and has a low center of gravity.
You got it. Gets that pad level low. Can he try to bust up the tell you, the center right now for Windham, handling him okay.
Windham shifts, sets, pass is complete, and it's going to get out past the 50, out to the 48-yard line, but there was a very, very late flag. Seemed like it was a late flag for motion, but wasn't sure if there's something else going on there. We'll find out.
Wait for the official white hat call.
Looked like they weren't quite set on that play. They just needed to wait about a half second too long. Great play by Coffin Hunter to get it into Cheverus territory, but it will all be for naught. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty and move them back. Stops the clock with 10:14 remaining in the first half.
1 step forward, 2 steps back, dare I say? Dare I?
DJ Scat Cat.
Hey.
3rd and 14. Bernier, man in motion. And that's going to be Grover. He takes a quick hit upfield up to the 41-yard line. Excuse me, that was Henderson who with a quick hit, but he was hit hard at the original line of scrimmage. Gain of 4, but it's a hard gain of 4, and Windham's going to have to punt.
Cheverus side pretty excited about the physicality of that contact and about the fact that they forced the 4th down here. So Windham will give the ball back over the Stags here.
Seemed like the momentum switched a little bit when that pass went incomplete to Henderson, and then that penalty that blew up the coffin play. Punt is away. Good job by Bernier to field that. It'll bounce. It'll take a Windham bounce, and it'll get down to about the 32-yard line. 9:35 remaining in the first half. Windham 14, Cheverus nothing. It's the game of the week on MBR.org from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Also, the Spectrum Healthcare Partners studios is where you'll find this game on the radio. Maine's Big Z 92.7.
Would this be the mobile studio?
This would be the mobile studio, yeah. Well, we call this the broadcast booth.
The broadcast booth.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a student. Sorry, parents.
9:35 remaining in the first half. Of course, if you're looking for any of the other games right now on the radio side of the dial or any of the other streams, just go to MBR.org. All the games are right there and linked up, ready to go. Run. Coffin taken down for a loss. Be 2nd and long for Windham. For Cheverus, excuse me. That was Max Coffin. Yes, there's a Coffin on both sides. So.
First and last name.
First and last name. No one with the first name Coffin, though.
Right.
So maybe that's a new one that could happen.
Dirigo ahead of Mountain Valley 7-0 after 1 quarter.
On 100.7 the Ox. Watson on the sweep. Almost fumbled it. Hung on. Gain of about 6 on that. They'll make it 3rd and manageable.
Middle of the first quarter, Edward Little 14, Bangor 0.
How about that Bangor basketball team, huh?
Boy, oh boy, aren't they going to be getting better?
They're going to be pretty good. Boys and girls, for that matter.
Licking that job.
3rd and 6 for Cheverus, 8:15 remaining in the first half. 14-0, Windham with the lead. Took advantage of a couple of Cheverus turnovers. Conant back to pass, looking. Henderson almost had a bead on it, but Watson just got a hand on it and put it away. Stops the clock with 8:02 remaining. Apologies to the state of Vermont. 4th and 6.
Boy, tipped up in the air, and you almost thought if he had an opportunity to collect that football, he might have been all the way into the end zone. Instead, they're going to force the Stags to kick this one back to them and get another opportunity here inside of 8 minutes left in this first half.
Especially to a dangerous guy like Henderson, who, if he gets into the open field, you know what he's capable of.
Gets up to full speed.
Kick is away. It'll bounce. And we'll stop at the 30-yard line. Look for a second there, like, was it going to get
away
touched
from
by the
the
Windham
ball.
player? Like,
Yes.
You're a little close there, champ.
Right. Get away from the ball.
Yeah. It's a step away.
It seemed like he wanted to get really close to it, though, so it's all right.
No, they didn't. I was expecting them to kind of block him into it or something, but that's probably just what I would have tried to do if I were playing at that time. But
And that's, well, right.
That's just the
That's
type
why
of
we're
person I
now
am.
broadcasting.
That's 100% correct. 14-0, Windham with a lead over Cheverus. 7:53 remaining in the first half. Bernier in shotgun. Beautiful picturesque setting over the background there. Bernier out. Pass is complete. That's going to be Jacobson up past the 40, out to the 42-yard line. Gain of 12. There's always a Jacobson on Windham. It seems like, I don't know, since 2008, 2009, there's always been a Jacobson.
First time we've seen that quick throw, that time out to Jacobson on the right-hand side. We saw him catch the out pattern, or Peoples catch the out pattern earlier for the touchdown. Quick passes right there, and Bernier able to deliver.
Bernier's going to run it himself off the right side. Speed burner down the sidelines. He's going to get into Cheverus territory. Out at the 46-yard line. Gain of 14.
Again, Cheverus just looks like it's playing back on its heels. It's waiting to react. I had an opportunity to have a great conversation with Coach Haley before we came onto the air, and we talked a lot about, you know, what you're trying to make the defense do and making them freeze in place. Inaction is an action. If they freeze in place, you're gaining ground on them.
And you're going to have a
delay
procedure. That would have been a really quick delay. I think there's a lineup somewhere. Whatever it was on Windham.
Yeah.
Legal procedure against Windham.
The procedure was not legal, therefore it's 5
They did
yards.
not follow appropriate procedure.
Correct.
Plain and simple.
Clock continues to run. 7:15 remaining in the first half. 14-0. Windham with the lead. Everybody's set. Handoff. Salem up the middle. Down to the 47-yard line. Gain of 4.
During some of the pregame ceremonies, they
excuse me, up to the 50. You stopped at the 50, so no gain.
Celebrated the groundskeeper here for a natural field surface, Matty. This is one heck of an impressive looking turf.
It's so funny you mentioned that, because when Coach Wing interviewed Bruce Nicholas earlier from Lewiston, he talked about how the Windham grass was just like turf.
Beautiful.
Remember? Yeah.
Beautiful.
Bernier back to pass. It's going to be complete. That'll be Peoples up past the 45 to the 43-yard line, gain of 7. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 8 for the Eagles.
Brought down by Tompkins, 3rd and 7.
Tell you, Windham is working for it a little bit more here than they have, and got a 3rd and long here. There's a few different options that they can go to. Got to imagine they're going to go to the air again.
This is a huge possession for them. Just 14-0, teams are still in the game. 21-0 is when teams start looking differently. Bernier back to pass, looks, throws, has a man, but can't get it to him, incomplete. It was Grover, he was outside, but the pass just a little too far.
Big blitz coming that time from the Stags. And a lot of pressure in Bernier's face, so he had to make a decision quickly. And just not able to deliver an accurate football down the field. So they'll be faced with 4th down. It looks like they will punt.
For Cheverus.
Although I have seen trickeration in Cheverus Windham games on this field before, so I will not say anything. 6:02 remaining. Clock is stopped on the incomplete pass. There's Bernier. Now he's going to get up in the shotgun snap. I'm going to try to get them going. He is going to short kick it. Nice little play there. That pulls the defense up. And that's going to give Cheverus not great field position back at the 10-yard line. 34-yard punt. Excellent play there.
First thing I'm thinking about right now is that center quarterback exchange. You know, deep in your own territory, you better be darn sure you are getting the football from the center before you make any decisions. And Windham has got to just dig in deeper here and see if they can't fire off the line, put a little bit of pressure on them.
Shortest pass in football.
Yeah, it is the shortest pass in football. Right out of Coach Haley's mouth, from the mouths of babes, I'll tell you, the shortest pass in football from the center to the quarterback. And Cheverus is having trouble with it.
5:54 remaining in the first half. It's 14-0. Windham over Cheverus. Cheverus with the football. Going left to right. Conan under center. And he will hand it off. And that'll be Coffin on the handoff, and he's going to lose yardage.
Coffin, the ball carrier, brought down by...
All plugged up in the middle that time.
A loss of 1, 2nd.
Also number 77 for Windham has been in on a couple of different tackles. That's Justin Lebrecq. Cheverus spreading out a little bit more than they have.
Hoping to find some room. I formation. Colley dives forward. Did they lose the ball? Another bad handoff?
Looked like it late.
Windham thinks they have it. They don't.
Lindstedt on the carry.
Looks like Colley landed on it, but
No gain. 3rd and 11.
Tell you, your field positioning worsening now here for the Stags, and Coach Vance not really able to dial anything up successfully. You got to figure he's got to go to the air here, unless he's taking the approach to try to get a little bit of room for the punter. But my guess is you want to try to advance the ball down the field.
4:30 remaining in the first half, 14-0. Cheverus trails Windham. Conant hands it off. That's going to be Coffin again, up past the 10 to the 11. Approaching 4 minutes remaining in the first half, and Cheverus is going to have to punt again, and 3 and out for the Stags, who have been unable to find their offensive footing.
Yeah, they just have not found any sort of rhythm or anything that works, and you got to credit the defensive line for Windham. Really, both lines, offensive and defensive lines for Windham, are winning this game up front, and that's creating all kinds of havoc for the skill guys.
Kick is away. Henderson fields it, and he's tracked down by Watson. Good open field play there by Watson. But good field position for Windham at the 48-yard line.
Beautiful open field tackle. I love to see a tackle like that. A kid race down the field. I mean, Henderson's also trying to catch a football, so he's focused on something else. But really, Watson getting down there, able to make that leg tackle, wrapping him up with both arms.
Bernier in the offense, ready to go. You know, I don't think I would have heard that here 10 years ago.
Nope.
Follow the Windham Athletic Department on Twitter.
Yeah,
I don't think I would have heard that.
No kidding.
Bernier hands it off to Salem. He's off the left side. Inside the 35, down to the 32-yard line. Zig and zag. And that'll be a first down.
Salem does one really, really key thing when he runs. He keeps his knees going. He keeps his knees high. He's not getting tripped up on anything. Keeps that forward progress going, even after contact.
Hurry up offense. They go to Henderson. Henderson gets bounced. He's going to bounce back to the 30. Gain of 3. A lot of action. 3 yards.
Henderson and Vic Marone had a nice connection, face mask to face mask, just behind the line of scrimmage. Looked like Henderson got the best of that one.
Henderson's going to come off the field. Windham's going to stay in the hurry-up offense here. Looks like they're trying to change things up, change of pace. Three minutes remaining. 2nd and 8. Bernier throws it deep. It's complete and down to the 20-yard line. I'll tell you who it is because there's no 15 on our roster.
And the PA guy.
And the PA guy doesn't know either. Okay.
The PA got hung up too.
Yes. All right. Keep in mind we got these rosters right before the game.
2 o'clock.
So Bernier breaks away down the sidelines. Now stays inbounds down to close to the 10-yard line. Bernier is really getting it done on his legs. Be 2nd and 1. Gain of 9. Down to the 11. 2:20 remaining in the first half.
Coach Perkins got his eye firmly planted on that clock. He knows very well how much time he can take between each play. He's going to leave as little time on the clock as possible for Cheverus.
Handoff, Salem off the left side. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
I think Salem wants something to say about that player of the game
I think
award,
he does.
Matty. I'll tell you what, heck of a run that time off the left-hand side, found the open lane, and he just ran to the open space. I mean, it's nothing that's overly complicated or anything that the defense for Cheverus hasn't seen. Salem has beaten him to the open spot, and he's beaten him pretty consistently. I'll tell you, look like Bernier is coming off with an ankle. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Something to keep an eye on there, that's for sure. 20-0. McCusker in to kick it. He kicks it, and it's McGood. 21-0. I've been wanting to do that for a while.
Awesome.
Just got to do that. 21-0. Windham with the lead over Cheverus. It's the MBR game of the week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. We'll take a quick break. back at the Spectrum Healthcare Partners studios, and we'll be right back.
There was a time when Nick DeLong doubted his chances to have a career he would love. Then he began working for Hammond Lumber Company. Today, he gets to pursue his passion for helping people by serving Hammond customers as an outside sales rep.
I started in Belgrade, sliding pine in the pine bin, and I was able to drive delivery truck for a while, and I got the opportunity to come to our Bangor location. I was a shipper up here and moved into outside sales. And it's great to work for a company that you have the opportunity to grow like that. Honestly, I don't know that if I'd chose to do something else or done the same thing somewhere else, I don't think I'd have had those opportunities. They've been great to me.
If you've got a building project to do and you'd like to deal with motivated people like Nick DeLong who will appreciate the chance to serve you, get in touch with Hammond Lumber. Call 1-866-HAMMOND or start online at hammondlumber.com.
Welcome back. Matt Boutwell, Steve Flynn with you here. John Governor Allen keeping us back on the air on Maine's Big Z 92.7. One of the commercials that you hear in your ear as well. From the Spectrum Healthcare Partners studios. We're actually in the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Windham leads Cheverus 21-0 on the game of the week.
Number of people who predicted that?
Not many. I didn't. I was wrong. Happens once in a while. Kick is away. Watson takes it out to the 36-yard line, and you're going to have a 15-yard penalty?
Yeah.
Is that going to be on Windham?
A horse collar maybe at the end. Looked like he might have grabbed him around the back of the neck.
Coach Haley thinks face mask.
Face mask.
You think collar. You think horse collar. Looks like does look like Justin Lebrecq is getting a just asking the question because he'd like to know. 2:01 remaining in the first half, so they'll work that out. I'll mark it off here in just a moment.
Unsportsmanlike.
They're just going to call it an unsportsmanlike. Huh. Interesting.
Maybe some a loose lip or two.
Someone might have said a magic word or something. Yes.
Yeah.
Which can happen from time to time, which is why officials are there.
You don't get the option to scrub your mouth with soap. It's a 15-yard
right,
penalty here. Yeah.
You can't just put that red bar of soap in. You can't. We'll have scores for you at the half. Perhaps we can get Coach Haley to join us again. I feel like that won't take much.
Can we find him anywhere? Has anybody seen Coach?
I think I'm going to let you. I think I'm going to let you interview him at the half this time. That's what I think I'm going to do. We'll tag out. Official just ran into the nose tackle. Oops, sorry, my bad. 1st and 10. Conant back to pass. Looking, throws. Pass is complete, but it's going to be for a gain of about 2. Ball was out. Did they mark him down? They did not. Another turnover. That's 5 on Cheverus now.
Yeah.
When does that happen?
Because there were 2 right off that they exchanged, boom, boom, and then been 3 since then. So that's 5 turnovers, and I'll tell you, that is very, very uncharacteristic, undisciplined play from the Stags, and Windham is in a very good opportunity here to take advantage of this. This could be a 28-point game quickly, Matty.
It really could be, and this is, what's so strange about this, Steve, is if this was 3 years ago, we're looking at this game like, they're sticking in it with Cheverus.
Yeah.
They're only down a couple scores, and then Cheverus would always get the touchdown, and then the turnover to get the other touchdown to make it 28-0 at the half. Didn't matter who they were playing.
Just not happening.
Right.
Just not there.
Not today, though. The script has been flipped. Bernier back out there. Pass is complete to Coffin up to the 41-yard line.
You got defensive backs playing off coverage 7 to 10 yards. Those passes are going to be there as long as Bernier can collect the football and make a quick delivery. Perkins is going to be happy taking those 3, 4, 5. That's a 7-yard gain. 8-yard gain.
Back to pass. Bernier looking, steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to run it. He does run it up to the 35, and he gets crunched by Colley right in the sternum. Inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. That'll stop the clock as they move the chains. 1 minute, 18 seconds remaining. Lindstead with quite a stop there.
Bernier is favoring that right ankle just a little bit. He came off the last series. Looked like he got it retaped. And he's out there. He's not going to let it affect him. The kid is tough, and he's going to play through it.
Bernier's pass is going to be complete. That'll be Jacobson, but I believe there'll be an illegal procedure. Inside the 30 down to the 27, but a flag came out here on the near sidelines, and Coach Perkins has put his head back in disgust, so that usually means not great things for the Windham Eagles.
That one's coming back. I'll tell you, that right ankle is important for Bernier because he's got to plan on that right leg, give a good throw down the field.
We're outside, by the way, in case anyone was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hanging out with the crowd.
And you get a choice too.
Sportsmanship. Everybody wins. 21-0. Windham with a lead over Cheverus. Minute 4 remaining in the first half.
I'd reference the conversation we had with one Michael Hoffer on
about field hockey.
Yeah.
Yes. Michael said a lot of people don't know the rules of field hockey, so people don't complain as much.
There you go. Simple.
You might be right.
We've got officials in the stands here.
1st and 15. Bernier can't find it. Another flag in the air on each side. Somebody hit the gong before that play even got started. So 55.4 seconds remaining in the first half, and we'll see what this is. My guess is it's another 5 yards on Windham, but how is the question. So it looked like a nice little cushion drive here.
Unsportsmanlike.
Another unsportsmanlike? No, illegal shift.
No, illegal shift. It was illegal.
Yes. Illegal shift.
Motion.
Yes. You can shift. You just can't do it illegally. Bernier in the shotgun. Throws it out to the right, and Henderson can't hang on. Stops the clock. 48.2 seconds remaining in the first half. Second and 20 now.
I think it's pretty obvious that a message has been delivered to the defensive line or the defensive unit for Cheverus to whatever you do, no matter what the result of the play is, get into the backfield and put pads on the skill guys. Hit Salem, hit Bernier, hit Peoples if you got to. Carry through and finish the play, and it's kind of frustrating the Eagles a little bit here.
Bernier back to pass, rolling, throws, complete. Henderson inside the 40, down to the 38. They're going to say he's still in bounds. Or did they stop it? They did stop the clock. No, they're going to continue to run it.
Why is this guy?
Timeout. Okay. Coach Perkins called the timeout. No, the clock was stopped because they thought he made it out of bounds. He didn't, so that stops the clock. The timeout will stop the clock with 36.8 seconds remaining in the first half.
Good save, Matty. Matty saved his roster from an endearing fan's face.
When did we have to start worrying about this on opening night, like the wind?
Snowmobile suits next week.
I think I'm just going to chuck it all. I'm just going to get some thermals, some overalls. I'm just going to go.
Be careful.
I'm going to go all out there.
Overalls are where it's at.
I didn't say anything bad about them. I think it's the way to go, frankly.
Very practical.
Frankly.
Very practical.
We'll have halftime scores for you coming up at the half. 21-0. Windham with the lead over Cheverus. All timeout here as Windham talks it over. Be 3rd and 14 when we get back to action here. Next week, we'll look to be in Brunswick.
Brunswick and Biddeford.
Yes. Battle of the Bees.
Get some scores for you at halftime as well. See what else is going around the state.
Of course, you can see all the action that's going on right now. What I would probably suggest, go right to the front page of MBR.org. And on the left-hand side, you'll see 2 Twitter columns. You see the MBR Twitter column. You also see the ME Sports Twitter column. You can follow all the action from around the state right there and watch this game at the same time. Amazing.
Winning.
Bernier, Salem, he lost his footing in the backfield and lost a yard. That's going to give it 30 seconds with the clock ticking, and you wonder if Windham's going to let this thing roll and then maybe try a little Hail Mary Chuck here. And 4th and long, up 21-0.
Interesting. No timeout by Cheverus either. You wondered if Cheverus might call.
Well, I was thinking
they're going to run one more play.
Yeah, they're definitely going to run one more play here.
Play's been called in, so here they go.
Final play of the half. Bernier back to pass, under pressure. Throws, has a man. It's caught. Inside the 25 to the 15, out at the 15-yard line. And that will end the half. Valliere with a nice catch, nice play out there, but could not get to the end zone. We'll take a break. It's halftime. Can I make this thing say H? I guess we'll find out. It's the game of the week. MBR.org's game of the week. From the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. We'll send it back to the Spectrum Healthcare Partners studios for some commercials. We'll be right back.
Do you want to start college this fall but thought it was too late? Central Maine Community College in Auburn is offering a special delayed start fall term with 9 classes beginning in late September. 7 of the classes will meet twice a week on campus and 2 will be online. For more information about this special fall term option, contact admissions at 755-5273 or email enroll@cmcc.edu. Get started today at CMCC, Turner Street in Auburn.
There's a winning culture when it comes to sports teams in New England. And now there's a new winning team to add to the list. Spectrum Orthopedics, an all-star roster of orthopedic experts delivering top care right here in your backyard. Spectrum Orthopedics is made up of 3 of the area's top orthopedic practices: OA Centers for Orthopedics, Central Maine Orthopedics, and Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Spectrum Orthopedics makes it easier for physicians, surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and clinical staff to share resources and work as one, making patient care efficient and more affordable. To learn more about Spectrum Orthopedics and connect with a provider in your area, visit spectrumhcp.com/ortho.
You're listening to a Gleason Media Sports broadcast on WEZR-FM Norway, WEZR Lewiston, WOXO South Paris, WOXO-FM Mexico, and WTME Rumford.
Kyle Churchill is someone who knows what he wants to do in life. For starters, he wants to work outside, even in the winter, doing physical work and breathing fresh air. He also wants to help other people get what they want. And at Hammond Lumber Company, Kyle gets to do both.
I was really attracted to the career of the job, something that I can spend a life doing and paying something into my retirement. I started off order picking, and then from there I went to driving the Hammond trucks, making deliveries, and then I worked in the pine bin, and that's where I am now. It's where I'm the happiest. I get to wait on customers. I easily take care of 50 to 100 customers in a day. The most satisfying part of the job is probably seeing those people come back and greet me by name. And this is what I like doing for a very long time.
If you've got a building project to do and you'd like to deal with someone like Kyle Churchill, who's happiest when he's helping others, then talk with the people at Hammond Lumber.
Welcome back to the Central Maine Community College Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. We are at Windham High School, where the Windham Eagles lead the Stags of Cheverus by a score of 21-0. I am joined here at halftime by Coach Mike Haley. Coach, what do you think of the first half of play?
Well, as you said several times during the first half, the continuity of the Cheverus offense was totally spoiled by the fact that they couldn't complete the shortest pass in football.
Yeah.
The one from the center to the quarterback. I mean, if you can't complete that pass, you can't run your offense.
Right. That fundamental play to get the offense kick started off.
Yep.
How about the line play up front, Coach?
Oh, I think Windham has completely dominated the first half, and that nose man for Windham is raising heck with that center for Cheverus. I think that's why he's having trouble snapping. And the overall balance of the Windham defense, I think they're really solid all the way across the front.
You know, I'm sure Coach Perkins is happy with the fact he's got a 21-point lead, taking his team in at a halftime, but there's plenty of things that they can work on, plenty of mistakes that he saw in the first half. What do you expect out of the Eagles in the second half?
I would think you'd see more of the same. And I would think that Cheverus might throw the ball a little bit more. I know they don't like to. That's not part of their usual game plan, but if you're down 21-zip, you've got to start thinking about trying to get a quick one here and there.
And Salem, an impressive runner for the Eagles. Not a big kid, but I'll tell you what, he hits the hole at the right time and really protects the football.
He and the quarterback are really a 1-2 punch.
Yep.
Both those kids are really quick, and when they hit the corner, bingo, they accelerate. And you run downhill all the way.
And so what do you say to the kids at halftime here? I mean, you know that the kids are paying attention to the scoreboard. They know, they're fully aware that they're up 21-0. I'm sure they know the expectation is not to be complacent, but what do you reinforce with them here at the half to get them to come out and still want to improve here in the second half of football?
I think you got to talk to them, especially these two teams, because they've had such great battles through the years. And I think you have to remind them that Cheverus has got a great tradition and a couple of really good coaches. And that they're not gonna roll over and play dead. They're gonna come out swinging.
Yeah, we saw.
You got to be ready for that.
It wasn't 8-9 months ago in January we saw a game where the Patriots were down by 25 points and. A lot of people marked them out of it. There's another half of football, and just as easily as this was 21-0, that can be flipped in the second half of play. Will be interesting to see what comes out here. How does the takeaway from week one? There's so much that comes in the way of expectation for what you want to see here, and right from the jump. I mean, there were early penalties that Coach Perkins doesn't want. All correctable stuff that you're seeing out there on the field.
I would think, for the most part, they had a couple of real good chances in the first half to score more.
Yeah, right.
They got really They penetrated really well, got downfield, and their offense sputtered a little bit.
Yep.
But once they got coming off the ball like they have been, that makes such a difference. When you have that offensive line with that great push that they have. Mm-hmm. It just opens up so many different things for your backs.
Well, and Windham's been able to complete a couple of passes down the football field. There was one to Henderson that was missed. Would have been a lengthy pass, but that's enough to stretch the defense back a little bit and open up the middle of the field.
Had a touchdown pass. So, and that was a great catch.
Yeah.
And Boulder can throw the ball. He just hasn't quite been on those guys, but he can throw a deep ball. He has a good arm. He's definitely a two-way threat. He can throw. He can run. He is tough.
Let's see if we can find some scores from around the state. Marshwood up on Skowhegan 42-0.
Wow.
Washington Academy leads Orono 20-0. Wells 20, Winthrop Monmouth 0.
Hold on. Washington was what?
Let's see. Washington Academy 20, Orono 0.
Jeepers.
How about that, huh? Wells up 20-0 over Winthrop Monmouth.
Not a surprise.
Halftime 12-6. Lawrence is ahead of Brewer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Oak Hill and Poland. Looks like Oak Hill has a 21-point shutout going against the Knights of Poland.
Wow.
So Stacey Doucette looks like, I know people were wondering what was he going to load up there. What are we looking for out of Oak Hill this year? I know it's a little bit of a rebuilding year, but coaching-wise and fundamental-wise, that still stays the same.
Yeah, it does. And their offensive and defensive line will always be solid because Jeff Wright is an excellent offensive and defensive line coach. I worked with him. Dave and I worked with him for 3 years, and he's a young coach at that time, but he's really shown himself really well. And they have a great weight program led by him, and that shows. That's when that will take hold.
Interesting, Coach, how much that has played a role at the high school level. The conditioning programs, the weight room stuff, the stuff they're doing outside of the season to get in ready for the season. A lot of times I talk to parents about they might come to me with a concern about their kid at practice, and I say to them, does your kid practice to practice? And they look at me like I've got two heads. You got to get ready to get ready sometimes,
Sure do,
and it's so important now.
You can't walk off the street and come into the locker room and then change up and expect that wondrous things are going to happen. You got to prepare yourself, no question. And it's so important for high school kids. I know it's difficult for the multi-sport athletes, but you have to find time to get in the weight room because you know what? Your opponents are getting in the weight room.
Well, and the other guy's doing it.
And you automatically put yourself at a disadvantage by not getting yourself ready because you go on the field against those guys, they'll eat you up.
You want to put your hand on the dirt across from somebody else that's had a whole summer in the gym. They've continued to work. They've continued to bust their butts.
Exactly.
And you haven't. You start to question yourself. So maybe you might have the physical capability, but you don't have the confidence. You haven't built up that confidence, that willpower from the discipline of doing it. So such a key part of football. We talked a little bit in the pregame about the mental agility that it takes here in the game, that the mind here is so much more important than what the physical body is saying.
People don't realize when you mention weight room, the first thing I think of is a muscle-bound a kid who can lift 300 pounds or 400 pounds or whatever. It's just as much of a mental thing as it is a physical thing. Mm-hmm. If you have to discipline yourself to push for that extra mile, so to speak.
You want to know what you're capable of.
Yeah, and you mentioned confidence, and it's a great confidence builder to know that you're coming out of that weight room and you're going to be on a par with the people you go against, or maybe even better if they haven't been weight training.
Well, and that's just it. And then if you've got a whole group of guys that are doing it, now you're gaining self-confidence and you're gaining team confidence. So now that guy next to you is working just as hard as you are, and you want to keep working hard for him. So that's how you build it from the grassroots.
It's a great team builder. I'll tell you right now, it is.
We talk about the weight room stuff. We talk about the conditioning stuff. Another thing that we're seeing a lot of is these coaches going down at the grassroots youth level and sort of saying, this is what we're expecting at the high school level. I know Coach Hathaway is a guy that's done that up at Levitt and Turner for many years. Install it early and get him used to that system. Coach Perkins, no different here. Does a nice job with the youth program.
The old saying, if you don't cultivate what's coming to you, you have only yourself to blame.
Yeah.
If you don't, as a varsity coach, get involved with your youth program, show that you're interested in them, show that you're interested in the program, you want it to succeed. Yeah, it's pure luck if you get anything out of it.
Right. Yeah.
You have to spend time with the coaches and with the kids and just with the overall program. They have to see your fingerprints on that program. They have to see it.
What do you say about the E-class this year, the developmental class here that we're going to bring in for the first time? What do you think that looks like? How does that sort of shape a lot of talk about where is high school football headed in the next 5 to 10 years here in Maine? This development class, I think, is a good thing.
Right now, we have 77 schools in Maine that play football.
77.
77.
Wow.
And this is going to keep those teams, for lack of a better way of putting it, at the low level of the sport at this point, because they haven't played much, because their youth programs haven't been developed, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And this is going to allow them to build up and maintain their programs and make them even better, and hopefully draw more kids onto the field. See, those guys see there's a program here they can have success at, they can take part in, and it's totally a building mechanism.
I can remember traveling up to Bangor and seeing teams of 80 football players. Participation is an issue, so you've got to encourage that. You've got to, at some point, make sure that you drive that interest and show them that there's something worth going for, something worth building towards.
Of course, success breeds success. We all know that. But it's easy. It's easy enough to show what can happen if, and this will happen if, and you know, if the approach at the youth level is totally about the kids, not about the coaches, not about them being able to brag about, oh, geez, I beat you, blah, blah, blah. And you know that, you're smiling, because you know that
it
exists.
happens,
And what you need to do is have totally unselfish people at the youth level, people who will buy into the philosophy of youth football and buy into the philosophy of the head coach, and follow his wishes, and as far as how to develop, and make it a step-by-step progressive developmental thing, starting with how low you go, and it's got to be built on fundamentals. It has to be. You have to emphasize blocking and tackling. And the proper way to block and the proper way to tackle.
The fascinating thing to me about the concept of fundamentals in sports is how you still see at the professional level the most fundamental things still don't carry through.
No, they don't.
So it belies its importance at the lowest level all the way up on through.
Yeah.
So young coaches, if you're out there wondering what to do to develop a state championship team, you want to know how to rally a group of people together, well, Coach Haley just gave you a blueprint. Go ahead and transcribe that one down, take it to the bank. A lot of experience and a ton of good advice there. We're just about to wrap up halftime. Windham leading the Cheverus Stags 21-0. It's the Central Maine Community College Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on Maine's Big Z.
Do you want to start college this fall but thought it was too late? Central Maine Community College in Auburn is offering a special delayed start fall term with 9 classes beginning in late September. 7 of the classes will meet twice a week on campus and 2 will be online. For more information about this special fall term option, contact admissions at 755-5273 or email enroll@cmcc.edu. Get started today at CMCC, Turner Street in Auburn.
If you're thinking about a new deck for your home, the people at Hammond Lumber Company and AZEK Building Products are ready to help. By the way, that's AZEK, A-Z-E-K. AZEK decking is engineered to be so durable and long-lasting that it comes with a lifetime limited warranty. AZEK withstands staining from messy spills and is resistant to mold, mildew, scratching, and splitting. Moisture and insects, no problem. Hammond Lumber carries the largest AZEK inventory in Maine and will help you design your deck for free, even help you find an installer if you need one. And of course, Hammond will deliver your AZEK order also for free within striking distance of any Hammond store, usually within 24 hours. So check out AZEK decks from Hammond Lumber at 1-866-HAMMOND toll-free or online at hammondlumber.com. 1-866-HAMMOND and hammondlumber.com.
There's a winning culture when it comes to sports teams in New England. And now there's a new winning team to add to the list. Spectrum Orthopedics, an all-star roster of orthopedic experts delivering top care right here in your backyard. Spectrum Orthopedics is made up of 3 of the area's top orthopedic practices: OA Centers for Orthopedics, Central Maine Orthopedics, and Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Spectrum Orthopedics makes it easier for physicians, surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and clinical staff to share resources and work as one, making patient care efficient and more affordable. To learn more about Spectrum Orthopedics and connect with a provider in your area, visit spectrumhcp.com/ortho.
I will totally stand the whole time, Coach. You have a seat. You've earned it. You carried the pregame and the halftime for us. We really appreciate it. It's the MBR Game of the Week on Maine's Big Z 92.7. Video stream at mbr.org. You can also subscribe to MBR Maine on YouTube, MBR Sport on YouTube, and get notified every time we go live. like next Friday night when we have Biddeford Brunswick.
Is there a snowman building competition after this one or anything?
I think maybe what we're going to do,
Wow.
there's going to be a sled dog.
My marker for cold, like, and I just do not want to complain about the weather, but my marker for cold is when my nose runs, just uninhibited.
Not because you have a cold.
Just uninhibited.
Right.
No, it just runs.
You went outside.
There's just no need for, and I don't want to put cotton up there.
No. There's no, you can't win. There's
Okay.
no winning.
Okay.
Cheverus, however, currently winning 21-0. The Windham Eagles lead the Cheverus Stags here. Start of the third quarter. Boop. Updated the scoreboard while I was at it too. I did discover you could put H and P in the quarter spot there.
Lovely.
H and P.
H and P.
Make sure you stay tuned after the game to our social media channels, including MBR Radio, as Johnny Mailer, you might remember him, as Johnny Bangor from WCSH6 is down on the sidelines, getting all sorts of video action for us to give you some different parts of the game.
The best piece of trivia about Johnny from Johnny Mailer is that his uncle was one of the Philly Fanatics. I just think that is just one of the great pieces of trivia that exist. I mean, come on. And I just didn't believe him for the longest time.
Right.
One of the Philly Fanatics.
That's fantastic. Of course, he's down there filming our Spectrum Spotlight series. Stay tuned to that all night on the social media channels of MBR and MBR.org. Of course, you can find all of those links at MBR.org, Maine's best resource for sports. Also catch episodes of the B-List, which you can catch daily on Sportstime 780 and SportsTimeMaine.com. Kick us away. And it's going to go out of bounds. So we will start the second half like we spent a lot of time in the first half with the flag.
21-13, Falmouth over Coney at halftime.
What an interesting combo of teams that is. Falmouth over Coney. Huh.
Scarborough's winning 43-0.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow.
Another good year for Lance Johnson's squad, it looks like. 3-0 Messalonski Brunswick?
Yeah, 3-0. Oceanside 20, MCI 6.
Cheverus gets it at their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10. They're down 21-0. Start of the third quarter. Conant lost another snap. Fell on it. Loss of 2. 2nd and 12.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
Conant has had a difficult time. I would say that's 9-ish at this point from my count. Just a rough center QB exchanges. And also, not even counting the center QB exchanges, you also have some situations out there where the handoffs to the running backs have not gone smoothly.
Fundamental exchanges.
Gotta have them. Much like most of this day.
Yep. Yeah.
You know,
Start
how it
to
goes.
finish.
Start to finish. Conant hands it off. Big time run there by Coffin. He's going to get going into Windham territory. Down to the 30, cuts it back at the 15, and down at the 12-yard line. Huge gain.
Run was designed to go to the left-hand side, and that time cut back to the right-hand side, the weak side of the defense, and it was wide open. It was only Henderson that had the legs to beat him, able to bring him down and prevent the long touchdown run that time by the Stags. But Cheverus here with some early momentum. He gets started in the second half.
51 yards on the run.
Hands down.
52, excuse me. 52.
Biggest offensive play for the Stags.
Looked like he was shot out of a cannon. Conant under center, hands it off. Coffin met at the line that time. Did not get 52 yards there. Not that it would have been possible because he's on the 12. But Wyndham's defense stiffens. And it's
Bo
second and 10.
Bo Jackson right out the back of the end zone.
Oh, yeah, you could have done the whole thing. You could have gone backwards and then forwards, just run out the clock. 10:35 remaining in the third quarter. You know that's going to be a B-list thing, right? We're going to have to do some Tecmo. We're going to have to do some type of Tecmo tournament.
Ooh.
I formation for Cheverus. Conant under center, hands it off. That is going to be not Colley. I know that for a fact. That's Lindstedt.
Out of character.
Very short game.
Wonder if Windham might have just been caught off balance on that first running play. After that, they've been able to plug up the line up front.
Jacobson looks like he's favoring his left hand.
Yeah.
Just kind of dangling there. And he keeps touching it over. Something's wrong. Conant breaks the huddle. I formation. Lindstedt's the up back. Coffin the deep back. Back to pass. Conant throws it high, incomplete. Pass was intended for Vic Marone, but it was a little high.
Had Marone open in the flat. Found him a little bit late, though.
Catches him in stride. He's able to get that upfield. They might have a touchdown. But that shows you the difference between a completed play and an incompleted play. It's a matter of inches sometimes.
Just no rhythm at all for Cheverus. I think that one play, line of scrimmage, the center for Cheverus able to get off the football and open up the hole in the middle. But since that time, Windham back on their toes and winning at the line of scrimmage.
Conant back to pass, is under pressure, and he's going to go down.
There it is.
He had no chance on that play at all. Anthony Kilgallen was back there and on his leg quick.
Set the center aside, went right back, wrapped his hands right around Conant's ankles and brought him down.
Coach Haley just gave me a term that I can't really use on the air, but it was apt in that situation.
It was apt. It was appropriate.
It was appropriate.
If the shoe fits, right?
Yes, correct. Cheverus down 21-0. Windham's going to take over with 9:31 remaining in the third quarter. I like how Windham, kind of goes to the sideline, does their thing. It's almost like they're taking a TV timeout,
Yeah, right over to the side.
I wish they were. I wish they would coincide that with us, so we could just play some things. Bernier hands it off, and I expect you're going to see a lot of that. German suplex for the tackle there. And that was Grover on the carry.
Almost looked like a pass formation. A lot of the linemen still in just a 2-point stance, not even going down into 3-point, but still handing the ball off. See if they stick with that.
I would not be shocked if that was the plan for most of this half.
Yep.
Shorten this game up, limit the possessions. Plenty of time. Salem behind the line, keeps his footing. He's going to get a first down up past the 30-yard line.
I think the only thing that Windham might give up from a body standpoint is that Cheverus might be a little bit bigger. So coming up in this 2-point stance allows them to sort of get upright a little bit and not have to create so much upward leverage blocking.
8:45 remaining in the third quarter. That'll be incomplete. Can't. Jacobson, who is still, you can tell he's still having issues with that hand, dropped the ball. I don't think the hand caused the drop, though.
No.
That was a total, let's run before I catch it sort of deal.
Yep.
That's like, Mom, can you throw me that cookie before I leave? And she's like, sure. And you see it in your hand. You're like, all right, well, I'm out the door. And then the cookie hits the floor and the dog eats it.
Smash.
That's pretty much what happens.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
That's how the cookie crumbles, indeed. 8:40 remaining in the third quarter, 21-0 Windham. Handoff. And that'll get short yardage. I think that was Grover. No, that was Salem, excuse me.
All the time in the world. That's what it comes to. All the time in the world. Oh, in our program, I think his name is written as S-A-L-A-M?
Yes, S-A-L-O-M.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it when the PA guy just changes the name, like midway through. Because he's the one we rely on. Because, he's the one who goes to all of the games.
He's the PA guy.
Bernier, pass is complete, up past the 40 to the 41-yard line. Hunter Coffin. And that moves the chains for a first down. And Steve, you mentioned that it looked like Windham was going to try to grind it out. They haven't had a lot of success grinding it out on first and second downs, but they've kept the drives alive.
You got those quick little passes that they can try to do just like that.
And that's Coffin in the backfield, and he's not going to gain anything. In fact, he's going to lose one back to the 40-yard line. will keep the, there's a flag down. My guess is it's going to be procedure. It's on the far side. Coach Haley thinks it's going to be a late hit. We'll wait for the call.
Yeah, it's going to be against Cheverus. That's my take when all the Windham players start clapping.
A legal substitution.
Ah.
I don't know how does holding your fist up to your pec signifying a legal substitution?
Well, because you're supposed to hold it down. That's why.
Ah,
oh,
okay. All right. Now I understand. Yes. Now I get it. Yes. Okay. 7:48 remaining of the third quarter.
As long as we understand it, that's the important part.
That's the
they don't give you that manual that you get when you go to the AHL games of here's all the penalties.
Yeah.
This is what they mean.
It'd be cool if they did though. And now we've got a stoppage because we're not sure. Luckily, Coach Wing's not here to complain about it. Every time there's a stoppage in play, Coach Wing goes completely off the rails.
Let them play.
Yeah, let him play. Come on, let's go. Of course, you can catch him and Russ Thompson tonight over on Z1055 and AM 1240, online at mainsbigz.com. Salem with it, up to the 49-yard line. We'll just go with Salem. I'm just going to continue with that because he's changed it 5 times. I'm done.
Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat.
I asked Perk before the game. He said Salem.
Salem.
Okay.
I'm going with Salem.
God. That's the whole reason you interview the coach on game day, by the way, which you can catch now at mbr.org.
Critical.
Handoff, Grover glides into the 40-yard line, 41-yard line. He makes it look so effortless, Steve.
Runs so tall and runs so smooth, and he does not look like he's an easy guy to bring down. I mean, he's just running high through that sea of players. Windham just marching right down the field here. Remember, they got Cheverus to turn the football over on downs, and now just marching it right back against them.
7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Windham leads 21-0. That handoff will go to the up back. That'll be Valier to the 36.
Valier on the carry. Brought down by Merrill. Pick up of 5. Second and 5.
5-yard gain, keeps the clock running. 6:30 remaining in the third quarter. Bernier looks over to the sidelines for the signal. Hands it off. Grover up the middle. First down to the 30-yard line. Of course, today was the first installment of Maine Athletic Fundraiser Fridays on the B list. We had coaches on. Coach Dave Wing joined us. He actually joined Lewiston Blue Devils head football coach Bruce Nicholas. We also had Windham head football coach Matt Perkins. Michael Hoffer joined us from the Forecaster. All sorts of stuff today. Also, Aaron Morse stopped by with Mark Soren from Oxford Hills High School to preview that game tomorrow night.
Talk to Mike Lowe a little bit.
Yes, Mike Lowe got to talk about the UNHU Maine game as another run for a first down there by Windham as Valier gets it up to the 20-yard line. You can catch all those interviews on demand at Maine's best resource for sports, mbr.org. It's the B-List Daily weekdays, 10 a.m. to noon on SportsTime 780, SportsTimeMaine.com. On demand, find its homepage at mbr.org. Windham continues grinding the clock down. But there's going to be a holding penalty there that draws it all back.
Bring them on back. Bring them all back. Tell you, they've had a lot of success running off the left-hand side of their line. McInnes has done a nice job up front at the center position for the Eagles. Bernier has really held this offense together. He's done a nice job throwing, running, and distributing the football.
It seems as though his ankle injury is a non-issue.
Non-issue.
For the moment.
Play
Bernier
action.
back to pass. Almost caught. Jacobson could not hang on. Incomplete. Stops the clock at 5:48 remaining in the third quarter.
Had a bunch of people bite on the fake to Grover that time. Really jumped the line. And he had Jacobson down the field, just wasn't able to collect it.
Tyler Lewis with a 40-yard touchdown run for Messalonsky. They lead Brunswick 9-0 with 4:44 left in the third. Extra point missed by the Eagles. Speaking of the University of Maine, by the way. Bernier sends a man in motion. Moves him over to the right now. It's Grover. Grover's going to run to the left. He gets down the sidelines and to the 36-yard line. They're going to keep the clock running. And that'll make it third and about 15.
How about Nokomis? 28-0 over Hamden.
Wow. Biddeford leading as well. 35-0 in their game. Got a timeout on the field here.
Oh, good. Let's find some scores.
Let's find some scores while we're at it. I like this.
Madison 35, Foxcroft 14 at the half.
Ah. It's like a big race for scores right now with all of us. Scarborough leads Deering 43-0, by the way. That's who that is. Oceanside on MCI 20-6 is quite a stunner to me. Michael Norton with 3 touchdowns, a return, a reception, and a rush for Oceanside.
Edward Little 38, Bangor 0 at halftime.
Wow.
That was 30 minutes ago, though.
Another
38. Whoa.
Delay a game, I believe. Oh, just false start of legal procedure. Good start to the year for the Eddies. I'm sure Dave Sterling will be excited next week to talk to Coach Wing. Coach Wing is our personal Larry Bud Melman.
He's doing it, though.
He is.
He is making it work.
He's making it happen. Bernier looks over to the sidelines. 5:04 remaining in the third quarter. 21-0 Windham. 3rd and 25. Bernier back to pass, under pressure, steps up in the pocket. Now pressured, rolls out, rolls around, stays in, under pressure, throws it, and it's incomplete. Tanner Bernier, a very exciting player, comes up limping on that ankle on that play. I wonder if that's going to be an ongoing saga for him this year. Ankle injuries tend to just not go away.
Hopefully it's just a cramp for Henderson. Appears to be what he's getting treated for. He wasn't happy, though.
Thought we weren't going to see cramping tonight.
Yeah, and we have.
Got to stay hydrated, right? Wyndham's going to take a timeout to talk about the punt and the punt formation. It's 50-50 ticket time. Did you buy a 50? I did
no,
not.
50-50.
I didn't.
No, 50-50.
No, I didn't either.
Didn't buy the arm's length.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
7, 6, 8. 8, 9, 8, 6. 7, 6, 8, 8, 9.
Are we allowed to repeat that over the air in case
I don't-
anybody left and they're sitting there looking at their 50-50 tickets like, man, I forgot I bought 50-50 tickets.
It was $521.50.
Wow.
I kind of wish I'd gotten in on that now.
Okay.
Huh.
Funny how they make you go pick up the money at the concession stand.
Well, I mean, yeah.
What's that about?
Well, I mean, you're going to be hungry, right? I would be.
Pick up your money right next to the donut shop.
Right, yeah. You can maybe you can buy everybody buy everybody around a French fries or something. 44-0 now, Edward Little with the lead in the third. End of the third quarter between Marshwood and Skowhegan. Classification different there. End of the third quarter, Marshwood 49, Skowhegan 0. Wells leads 28-0 over Winthrop Monmouth. And Biddeford still leads Westbrook 35-0 after 3.
Tell you what, Grant Hartley might be a sleeper Fitzy finalist.
Very well could be.
A lot of people are looking that direction. He can line them up, though. Bernier
back to punt. And Cheverus is going to go off sides.
Oh.
That was Lindstedt. Lindstedt's had a fumble today. He's got the offsides. I'm sure he's going to be really excited for film session.
I don't think he needs a coach to get mad at him. He's pretty upset with himself.
Yeah, well, that's my thing. Like, I don't think he's going to be excited. He's going to be more mad about it than coach will. Bernier will now punt it from the Windham, or from the Cheverus 45. Little, kind of a short punt. Bounces back at the 28-yard line. Interesting. And Bernier definitely not
I'll tell you,
in control of both legs at this point.
So I think one of the issues is it's getting colder. I mean, it's only maybe by a few degrees. It's not really that noticeable, but he went in at halftime. He really cooled off, head to toe, and I think he's having trouble getting the body back up to regular temperature. You wonder whether or not Coach Perkins will keep. My guess is he's going to keep him out there. Maybe just go to the run and not ask so much of him. Maybe put him in the shotgun a little bit more, but we'll see. Looks like they're negotiating right now.
Conant's going to hand it off. That'll be Coffin. Up past the 35, out to the 36-yard line.
Nice tackle by LeBrecq that time.
Cheverus is only down 3 scores. I know there's 4:30 remaining in the third quarter, but they broke a 52-yard run on the last series, and even though they haven't been able to get any consistency going, if they can get at least one play in to get them back into it, you've seen momentum change very quickly in Maine high school football many times before this.
Really looks to me like Cheverus is playing with a little bit more speed, a little bit more pace than Windham has. A little more sense of urgency, of course, it helps being down 21 points.
Conant, pitch, Coffin off the right side, waits for the block, doesn't get it, bounces out. It's up to about the 37, 38-yard line. Gain of 3, that'll make it 3rd and 1. Actually, 3rd and 2. They'll mark him at the 30. They mark him at the 38. It'll be 3rd and 2. No, 3rd and 1. They got to get to 39. Sorry. I had to wait for Kilgallen to move there. Like, it looked like it was on the 40. I'm like, no, it doesn't seem right. Conant under center. I formation for Cheverus. Coffin the deep back. They'll hand it off to him. He's going to follow his line, and he is just going to get over the line. Low center of gravity there. He almost got met in the backfield, but he torpedoed through. Just up and just shy of the 41-yard line for a first down for Cheverus. They'll stop the clock with 3:13 remaining in the third quarter as they move the chains.
Move the chains, and that's just it. They reset him and got a fresh set of downs. I'll tell you, Windham is making them work for it, though. Make them work hard.
Make them work hard. I mean, if they're getting them 3 yards at a time, they're bleeding the clock down for you at this point.
That's just it. It's working for you. The clock is 12th man in that regard.
Conant under center, I formation. Handoff, Coffin. He's got some running room. Up past midfield and knocked out of bounds at the 45. And then a 15-yard penalty for a late hit out of bounds. Even though it wasn't so much a hit as it was a spin down, people still did it way out of bounds, so they had to throw the flag.
Yeah, and it's just a costly penalty at a bad time. You give up a big run, then you get a personal conduct issue at the end of that. Those are the kind of things that you can't do. Up 21-0, you wouldn't expect that from this Eagles football team. And right now, if this game continues on, I imagine Coach Perkins would be happy with being up 21 points here with 2:52 to go in the third quarter. He can't be happy with some of the undisciplined play that he's seen here tonight.
Moves the ball all the way down to the Windham 29-yard line. 2:52 remaining in the third quarter. Cheerleaders were just freezing a second ago. Just saw a couple of them like rubbing their hands together.
Blue added to the uniforms
Blue
this
added
year.
to the uniform this year, yes.
Also a change with the Windham uniforms, maroon helmets instead of the white helmets this year.
Correct. Handoff, Lindstedt. Another issue with the exchange there on the play, and back behind the 31-yard line falls Lindstedt. That'll be a loss of 2.
I do believe I saw the white helmets, though, being carried by some of the kids on the youth program. They had a youth practice here, and that looked like some of the same exact, some of the hand-down gear. Perfect for those kids.
Exactly. So it should be done. That's how it should go. All tested and ready to go.
Cheverus still grinding away here. I'll tell you, they haven't gone to the pass like Coach Haley thought they might at halftime.
Still got time.
Yep.
Handoff there. That's going to be Watson. Tries to take it on a sweep and is going to get swept down for another loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 14. And everything that Cheverus had done to get up to this point has totally come untracked after the personal foul on Windham.
Bayer again, that time setting the edge, coming straight up the field. And the reason that's so effective is because it forces Watson back to the inside. He didn't have anywhere to go, brought him down for a loss, forcing the hand of Cheverus once again. Outside of a couple of big plays that Cheverus has opened up, the Windham defense has really done a nice job containing the Stags.
3rd and 15, a minute 30 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Conant in the shotgun. Coffin next to him, and Conant wants to take a timeout.
Timeout, Cheverus.
We'll get you some scores from around the region.
The Be the Influence Coalition, a Windham Raymond collaborative, encourages you, whether a family member, neighbor, or friend, to play a role in protecting young people's potential.
Messalonsky now leads Brunswick 17-0.
17-0.
Yep.
Speak up early when you have concerns and make
17-0. Oak Hill leads Poland 28-0 at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Ooh.
Falmouth picks off a screen pass and then turns that into a touchdown. 28-13 Falmouth, 4:58 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Also a scary moment up in Hamden. Tristan Coffin down and hurt, and teams have moved off the field. They will keep you updated.
Ooh, don't like to hear that.
No, definitely not something. It's definitely something I could do without on opening night or any night of high school football. Minute 26 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Well, if you're Cheverus here, you know, I'm sure they don't have the no huddle down 20 playbook where they open things up.
The turbo offense.
Right, yeah. They're not jumping right up with it. So you got to kind of go with what you got. Conant in the shotgun. Coffin next to him on the right. Watson, far side, right. Roll it out, throw it back. They were looking for Lindstedt and went right through his hands, and that'll be a turnover and downs. And there just looks to be a lot of disjointedness with Cheverus. There's a lot of something I have not seen for quite a while for a Cheverus squad. A lot of hands out to the sides, like, huh?
What we always saw, we've always seen from Cheverus is 11 guys that are singing from the same sheet of music.
Yeah.
And that's just not what you're seeing out here. You got a couple of guys that are wondering what song they're supposed to be singing, and when you have that lack of continuity, team to team, player to player, it shows up.
When you got one person singing Stairway to Heaven and the other person singing, Circle of Life, it does change things quite a bit.
They don't mix well.
Excuse me, that was 3rd down, so this will be 4th down, 4th and 15. Low snap, Conant gets it, and he gets crunched.
LeBrecq again.
LeBrecq right, and of course his mom right in front of us here on the right-hand side put Conant into the turf. Hopefully that turf guy hasn't left yet because they're going to have to take Conant out of it.
Wow. Yeah, I think his number is embedded. The 16 is embedded right there into the turf. Wow.
Yes. That's no longer the 41-yard line. That's the 16-yard line right there.
Conant had trouble handling the snap, just kind of fumble. LeBrecq still charging through the middle of that line, able to deliver good contact and drive him into the ground. Forced the turnover on downs, and now Windham with an opportunity to put another touchdown on the board.
Not only to put another touchdown on the board, but to play the clock game with 16 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in this football game. Which, when you get down to this point, it's not just Windham who's Cheverus' enemy. It's also the clock. Salem with it. Glides and slides down to the 48-yard line. Does a little different type of gliding and sliding, though. He goes underneath, like whoop, whoop, whoop. It's like Nazari Henderson just hurt his hand. Nazari Henderson is getting every sort of injury you could possibly get today. Cramps, a hand thing, finger. Coffin over to the right side. Handoff, Salem. Over the middle, just over the first down marker, into Cheverus territory, down to the 49-yard line for a first down. That stops the clock at 42.6 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and Windham leading 21-0.
The third quarter that never ended.
Yeah. And there wasn't a lot of scoring.
No.
It's not like there was a lot of stop passes or anything like that.
No scoring.
Yeah. I think it's just because it got cold, right? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Handoff to Salem. Knifes it up ahead. When Salem finds that one cutback, and he's still up, by the way, to the 40-yard line. They might mark him inside the 40, just past the 40-yard line. You know, he is a really he just gets right up the gap.
Keeps his legs going.
Makes his cut and goes.
Churn. It's such a key thing to know the right cut, when to make the right cut. You make me think of a guy like Curtis Martin, who people always wondered why he was so good. It was because he was making the right cut and at the right time.
Reminds you a little bit of Terrell Davis in that aspect of it, too, that one cut and go.
Yep.
We'll take a quick break. Into the third quarter, it's the MBR Game of the Week. Radio on Sports Time 780 and Maine's Big Z 92.7. Windham leads Cheverus 21-0. We're live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. We'll be right back.
There was a time when Nick DeLong doubted his chances to have a career he would love. Then he began working for Hammond Lumber Company. Today, he gets to pursue his passion for helping people by serving Hammond customers as an outside sales rep.
I started in Belgrade, sliding pine in the pine bin, and I was able to drive delivery truck for a while, and I got the opportunity to come to our Bangor location. I was a shipper up here and moved into outside sales. And it's great to work for a company that you have the opportunity to grow like that. Honestly, I don't know that if I'd chose to do something else or done the same thing somewhere else, I don't think I'd have had those opportunities. They've been great to me.
If you've got a building project to do and you'd like to deal with motivated people like Nick DeLong who will appreciate the chance to serve you, get in touch with Hammond Lumber. Call 1-866-HAMMOND or start online at hammondlumber.com.
Welcome back. It's the MBR Game of the Week on Sports Time Maine, Maine's Big Z 92.7. Video stream MBR.org. YouTube channel, subscribe, get notified when we go live. Just subscribe to MBR Sport. Start of the fourth quarter. By the way, it's 12-minute quarters, not 15.
No, 12.
Salem with a run inside the 35, down to the 32-yard line, and Windham continues their drive here, up 21-0 over the Cheverus Stags. And something I don't think a lot of folks expected.
Bernie are still going to be out there calling the signals for the Windham Eagles. And he is continuing to favor that right ankle a little bit more. You know it's got to be affecting him. It's going to play a role if he tries to throw the football. They're going to keep him in the shotgun here, my guess is, and continue to hand the football off.
Burnier's still in there, gimpy ankle and all. Salem finds some running room, and he's going to go out of bounds at the 16-yard line as Watson takes him out of bounds. Looks like Watson hurt his arm on the tackle.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Salem has given up maybe 20, 25 pounds and a couple of inches to Watson, but that time got his pad down low, popped him up, rolled him over, and snapped him down, and Salem won that competition front to back.
Coach Ellie makes a great point. As soon as he sees the hole, it goes right up. It's very tough to tackle at that point. There's going to be a flag down here because Windham was moving way before the snap. Or not. Okay, I guess they just let that roll. Did you see a flag go down? I didn't see a flag go down.
I thought I saw a flag.
I see nothing. Okay. All right. He wasn't set, but okay. All good. All good. Burton gets everybody moving again. Windham in the hurry up here. 11 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. They're up 21-0. They're at the Cheverus 13-yard line. Handoff. That's going to be Salem. Wiggles, giggles, gets into the end zone. However, I believe there's going to be a holding in the end zone. And I think it's going to come back. We'll see what the call is. And if it is a holding in the end zone, they're only going to move it back to 10 yards.
Correct. It's coming back. You see the Windham players going back to formal huddle. I think they pretty much are expecting.
They've resigned themselves on this one.
And it is. It'll be a hold on Windham.
Wells now leads 34-0 over Winthrop Monmouth. After 3 quarters of play, Dirigo leads Dirigo leads Mountain Valley 13-0 on 100.7 the Ox. Bernier back to pass, looking, throws, has a man, incomplete. Jacobson fell down. Pass was just a little bit behind him. He was wide open.
Didn't see him soon enough.
Yep.
Didn't see him soon enough. He was wide open over the middle of the football field. Bernier just didn't see him over the line. Too late registering him as open and couldn't deliver the football on time. Behind Jacobson.
Stops the clock with 10:50 remaining in the 4th quarter. Bernier steps back, ready to pass, throws, incomplete. Coffin dove for it, stops the clock, 10:46 remaining in the 4th quarter, 21-0. Windham with the lead, 4th and 10 at the Cheverus 16-yard line.
It's tough. I'm telling you, Bernier continues to favor that right leg, you can see, and he's not able to settle back on it, so he's having to rely just on his arm strength, trying to snap these throws off with his wrist.
Bears watching, that's for sure. Handoff to Henderson on the sweep. He's going to run it, gets it down the sidelines, tries to continue to go, and he gets taken out of bounds inside the 10. Will not be enough for a first down. Which doesn't look like it will be. Henderson's down on the other side. Henderson fought with it there. He's up now. He's good. He's good. They're going to move him across. Guess they're going to take him off the field over there.
Okay.
They're going to look at him over there.
Good.
Okay. All right.
So it's not like the chains. They don't have to bring him all the way back to this bench.
Yes. Correct. There's no, yes. They're going to measure. I think he's going to be just short. And Cheverus stopped him just shy.
Cheverus takes over on downs.
Heck of a run there by Henderson. He's getting treated back on the Cheverus sidelines right now.
This is a 3-score game, and I'm going to tell you right now, Matty, this can vanish quickly.
Yes.
In high school football. It can vanish very, very quickly. Wyndham has got to be careful here.
One broken play. And you saw it early on the 52-yarder. If he gets into the end zone there, it's 21-7 right now.
And Coach is going to light up when he hears me say this. There's a big difference between playing not to lose and playing to win.
Right.
And you want to be careful that you keep your foot on the gas here and continue to put that pressure on.
Seemed like they really tried to get fancy there down towards the end zone. I mean, inside the 13, 15-yard line. They were running the ball with abandon, so just run the ball. Conant hands it off. Coffin bounces it outside. Gain of 1, if any.
Coffin the carrier. Brought down by Kilgallen.
Kilgallen's been all over the place tonight.
Second and 10.
Ten minutes remaining in the 4th quarter.
No real sense of urgency from Cheverus either. Not want to get a play in real quick or anything. They seem pretty deliberate here. Tell you, the wind has not given up. The wind has been steady. That flag has been right out straight this whole second half.
I agree. Conant back to pass, looking, throws, has a man, and dropped it. Oh, goodness. Andrew DeGeorge is going to see that one in his sleep tonight. And when he caught it, Steve, from here, it looked like he was throwing it back for a hook and ladder. That's how it was.
Almost like he made a football move. Almost like he made a football move with it.
Right. So, and I'm waiting for something, but they blew it dead. So he must not have hung on to it the whole way. But he was wide open. Nothing but green grass and bad intentions in front of him.
Yeah. True.
Stops the clock, 9:49 remaining in the 4th quarter. 21-0. Windham with the lead over Cheverus. Cheverus, an un-Cheverus-like performance. Lots of turnovers tonight. Conant hands it off. That'll be Coffin. He goes up the middle. Gets almost nothing. Maybe a yard. And that'll make it 4th down, and Cheverus is going to punt with 9:30 remaining in the 4th quarter. And Henderson still being treated on the other side, so that means you've got a new punt returner for Windham. That will be Hunter Coffin.
I wonder when the last time was he actually fielded a punt.
That's a great question.
Didn't see him doing it in pregame. I think we're going to have a timeout here.
Another timeout? Interesting.
Either they don't have enough guys in there or they timeout on the wrong formation.
Cheverus took the timeout. Did you see Coach Wolfgram run out there?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The defensive coordinator.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting?
Well,
defensive coordinator, special teams coach.
Correct.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
Special teams responsibility.
All right.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Just seems interesting. Like it's like nothing changed all of a sudden. You know, like whoop,
Yeah.
there he is. Like wow. Blast from the past. 9:08 remaining in the 4th quarter. Windham leads Cheverus 21-0. Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Of course, if you missed any of Maine Athletic Fundraiser Friday, catch all of it on demand now at mbr.org. Just go right in the TV listings. You'll see the B-list stuff right there. Be updating that daily. Because the B-list is daily, 10 a.m. to noon on SportsTime 780 and SportsTimeMaine.com, 24/7 at mbr.org. Brought to you by friends at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. 9:08 remaining in the 4th quarter. Punt is away. It's a beauty. Coffin will field it back to the 45, to the 35, cuts it back to the 30, inside to the 28, and down at about the 29-yard line, I believe is where they'll mark him down. 8:57 remaining in the 4th quarter, 21-0 Windham. Let's see what the Eagles do with their possession here. They've been trying to get off this 21 for quite a while.
And it's been another good 10 minutes on the sideline for Tanner Bernier. We'll see whether or not that ankle is responding at all. Yeah, he is going to go back out there. Tell you what a gritty performance by the senior.
Bernier hands it off. Salem gets tackled by Coffin and a gaggle of others. The clock, however, continues to move. I wonder if you're going to see Windham throw another pass in this game. Looks like Finn Cawley's down for Cheverus. Looks like they had just moved Henderson from the other side.
Yeah, he's on. Yeah,
he's just now walking back.
On his way over. Any more scores? Let's see.
There's got to be some.
Have to be.
Go to the handy dandy tablet. See what happens here. I think Wells is really going to like Class D South.
Falmouth 34, Coney 13.
Wells leads now 40-0 in the 4th quarter. That young man from Hampden Academy, Coffin, was able to stand up with a neck brace into the ambulance. He was stabilized. Final, Edward Little 44, Bangor 0.
Wow, wow, wow.
Salem actually was the one who was down, and he will get up. Salem and Henderson on the sidelines. I think they're both cramping up.
Hey, I cursed it. I kept saying, I don't know how many times I comment today where cramping's not going to be an issue.
Cramping's not going to be an issue.
Clearly
Sometimes
been an issue.
Clearly. Handoff. Rumbling. Inside the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. That was Valier on that. Seems like it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to keep. I should have kept it
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have you keep stats from now on, Coach Haley. 1st and 10. If he's not on the game, I'm going to just have him keep doing stats. That's what I'm going to do. Windham continues to rush the ball. 21-0. They lead Cheverus.
Slowly chipping away at that clock. Slowly.
8 minutes remaining in the fourth
slowly.
quarter. Bernier looks over to the sidelines. 2nd and 4 for the Eagles at the Cheverus 11-yard line.
2/3 time of possession you think the Windham has had
Roughly.
at least? Yeah.
It seems like it. Bernier back to pass, throws, incomplete. Was intended for Peoples, and now Peoples comes up limping.
Oh. That play looked a lot like the Russell Wilson, Malcolm Butler play. Nice job, the defender that time just kind of sat down in his hole, disrupted the play.
Salem back in there for Valier. Peoples is going to stay in, far side right. Handoff, Salem. Flag is down, however. Salem's going to get down to the 7-yard line. All this hard running for naught as the far side official, line judge, threw an illegal procedure penalty flag way before the play even got rolling.
You know what? If it's that far from the play.
You must have really good eyes. That's what I'd look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. False start.
I would say at least double digits on the motion.
Has to be.
There's going to be a lot of coachable moments in this one for Coach Perkins. 21-0 looks great in the wing column, but in the film room on Monday, sometimes 21-0 can look like other games as well. Coach Shelley just informed me it'll be tomorrow. So
tomorrow, good.
7:42 remaining in the fourth quarter. Windham 21, Cheverus 0. They're finally getting this illegal procedure sorted out. And then there was another penalty on top of that. It is 4th down for Windham. Looks like they're going to kick a field goal. Yes, they're going to bring out the field goal unit with 7:42 remaining in the fourth.
Here we go.
Liam McCusker coming in. I should probably take video of this and send it to Palmer. He really likes the kicker.
That would be good. Wow. There is just no sense of urgency.
Nothing from anybody.
Nope.
It's something.
Oh, we're going to go talk to the defensive coordinator.
The defensive coordinator, special teams coach, yes. Okay, now we're all straight. Just a delay here. Deal. Try to figure out where to put the ball, I guess. 7:42 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Boy, this brings a
Windham
whole
21, Cheverus 0.
Brings a whole new element into freezing the kicker, doesn't it? What is going on?
It doesn't just freeze the kicker. Puts him in the freezer. Are they moving him back? Is there another penalty?
Looks like they're moving the football back again.
Good news. The PA guy doesn't have a clue either. So that's encouraging.
I don't even know what to say. Like, I'd like to tell you what's going on. Okay, they are going to accept the penalty now because they were going to. I guess what happened here is that they were not going to accept the penalty and give them 4th down.
Great.
Because Windham decided to kick the field goal.
They took the penalty.
Cheverus said, no, we're giving that one back. So now it's 3rd down.
You get a do-over like that?
Yeah, I guess. I don't believe you're supposed
you're not
to,
supposed
but
to be able to,
that's
right?
what happened here. Grover runs it down inside the 10.
That's why they give them the option.
Right. That's why. Then that's,
ahead of time.
That's why I'd said I'd never seen that before. Very interesting. It's going to make it 4th and short, but they will now kick the field goal.
Well, and you can't do anything about that.
No, you can't.
No,
they
you
cannot go back 3
that's
plays
right.
from now and
That's
say,
right.
hey, we don't want this field goal. Coffin will hold. McCusker will kick it. It's going to be too late. Yeah. Bad snap, but the hold is good, and the kick is just to the left. I think the wind caught that one, Steve.
Very well could have.
I mean, that was up there quite a ways.
Well kicked.
That still looks, I don't know, that looked about as good as Jamie Ross's against Cheverus a few years ago.
At what point are we going to extend the uprights?
To
enough.
Yeah.
Enough. It's happening in high school now that we have a good vantage point here.
Here's what I would suggest. You know how they have the foul poles in baseball?
Right, with the
and the way the
screens.
foul poles have the screen, you can
Yeah.
tell, right? Okay. Why don't we have 2 screens on the outside of those?
Yeah.
Just boop, boop.
Yeah.
And then if the ball gets caught in the screen, you know it's not good, right?
100%. I'm there. I'm good. I'm in.
I don't feel like that would be a
Maybe we can patent it.
right. Maybe. The tag on, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Cheverus takes over at their own 20, 6:46 remaining in the 4th quarter. Conant back to pass, looking deep, has a man. It's Watson, and it's incomplete right through the arms. That was a heck of a throw by Conant. Right into double coverage.
And he threw it early. I mean, he put that ball out early for Watson and had enough air underneath it. Put it in a good spot for him. Just couldn't complete it. Another great comment from Coach Haley at the beginning of the game about only, 3 things happen when you pass the ball, and 2 of them are not good.
And in this, on a type of night like this,
Yeah.
down 21-0, you know some of the things that can happen. That was a beautiful throw.
Willing to take that risk now.
Hand off, Coffin. He's got some running room. He's going to cut it back. And he'll get past the 30 to the 32. And another flag down. Is that going to be a face mask? I'm going to go ahead and just guess face mask.
Brought down by Watson. There's a flag on the play.
Or is there a hold? Windham continues to move back, so they've already expected this. Now they're going to talk about it. Holding, a defensive holding on that play. Why did he give the defensive holding sign on that? Okay.
You have got me.
Okay, just check.
Consider me confused.
It's just a reset.
We got pylons down in the end zone.
Ball is at the 46-yard line for Cheverus. 1st and 10. There was apparently a defensive holding penalty. Not sure where, how, what caused it. Not sure. 1st and 10 Cheverus. They're down 21-0. 6:20 remaining in the 4th quarter. Full house backfield. Conant back to pass. Looking, throws. Pass was batted at the line, incomplete.
Conant's pass falls incomplete.
One-man pattern.
Just not a lot out there. There's just not a lot out there for him to pick from. He's got he knows where he's going with the ball the second that it gets snapped.
Now, that's a great play when you're tied at 14 down by the end zone and
That's
you go with the play
correct.
action.
Yeah.
When you're down 21-0 and you're only expecting the pass, you have a one-man pattern and you cover the one man. There's no other options.
What are you really expecting?
Right. 6:18 remaining in the 4th quarter. 21-0. Windham with the lead over Cheverus. Cheverus looking to get on the board. Conant's going to hand it off to Coffin, who's been pretty much the Cheverus offense today. Gain of 2, and it'll be 3rd and 8.
Lindstedt on the carry.
Excuse me, that was Lindstedt.
Brought down by Cassidy and Kilgallen.
Coffin's going to come out of the ball game. No, he's going to stand. You see, again, another situation where Cheverus is looking over with hands outstretched like, what do you mean? I don't know. You never see this before. I mean, it's opening night, so you see this from a lot of teams.
A lot of confusion, though. I mean, there's been
just
confusion front to back here.
Side to side, if you will.
Wind appearing to change direction and pick up speed.
directly now in front of our face.
Oh, man, a timeout.
Is that Cheverus' last time out? I feel like they've taken 4 this half, haven't they? Cheverus takes a timeout at the Spectrum broadcast booth, high above the field here at Windham, right next to the press box. I want to thank Rich Drummond. Also want to thank Bob, the IT guy, for hooking us up here. Really appreciate that. Always super helpful when IT guys help.
Got us all set up on Tuesday.
All set up on Tuesday.
That was fantastic.
Like, I didn't have to stress about coming here and getting connected. Nothing. I was even able to connect to the studio this year, which last year I wasn't. So.
Hey, isn't that fun?
Yeah, that was great.
It's a good change of pace.
That was a good time. I didn't need to run 3 computers last year,
Nope.
but I did for some reason. No big deal. It's much warmer last year about this time, though. 5:27 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it really
There was a lot more of me last year, too, to keep me warmer.
Yeah,
so.
much more.
That's the one thing I totally neglected with this whole weight loss thing was
The whole insulation
was
piece?
the whole, hey, how's your body temperature going to change thing?
Struggling.
Yes. I did save money on my air conditioning bill this
See,
offseason.
so that's wonderful.
Other than that, though, here we are.
You'll save money on clothes moving forward.
Less stitching. I don't
Yeah,
have to
that's
get the extra large, extra tall.
See?
I actually grabbed a shirt the other day. It was funny. I bought a shirt last time I went to Yankee Stadium, and we went a couple weeks ago. And I didn't realize it was an extra large. Like, I was going to give it back because I didn't think it was my shirt. I'm like, no, that's fine.
Try it on anyway.
Yeah, okay, hey, guess it fits. Back from the timeout. Conant back to pass, has a man deep, looking incomplete. Pass was intended for number 82, Sean Tompkins. However, he went up, and Conant passed it out. 4th down and 8, 5:22 remaining in the fourth quarter. Cheverus trails 21-0. It looks like they shall be punting.
You got it, Matty. They are lined up in punt formation. Tompkins will be the kicker, the punter.
Henderson back from getting worked on the sideline, so he's ready to return it.
Wants another shot at a return.
Tompkins' kick is away. Henderson will field it at the 20, 25, 30, and out to the 33-yard line. 5:14 remaining in the fourth quarter, 21-0. Windham with a lead over Cheverus. Next week, plan is to be at Biddeford, Brunswick.
That is the plan.
That is the plan.
1st and 10 Eagles.
We shall see what the week brings.
Bottom of the 7, Red Sox 4, Yankees 1.
I didn't need that score.
We won't pass that one on.
We're not going to pass that one
We're
along.
not going to pass that one along.
No,
yeah?
you know what?
We're not going to pass that one along.
We're going to make an executive. We're going to make an executive editorial decision there. Nope. 5:14 remaining in the fourth quarter. Windham leads 21-0. Cheverus has turned the ball over 5 times today. Bernier hands it off. Salem, who's been running with abandon all night, continues here into Cheverus territory in the midfield and down to the Cheverus 40-yard line. Gain of 28 yards.
What a huge run that time. And you see, still got energy, still got plenty of life in those legs, and able to scamper off a big run that time. Windham right up to the ball, ready to go.
Clock runs after the chains get moved. 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Over 200 yards for 21.
Salem now over 200 yards according to Coach Haley's expert estimation skills. He gets crunched there after a gain of 5. He's going to need a nice cold bath. And by cold bath, I mean just throw him in water next to the end of the bench there, and he should be just fine. Should be cold enough.
I tell you, he gives up probably 70 pounds and 7-8 inches of height to Lindstedt, but came out of that collision quicker than Lindstedt did. He's taken a bunch of hits tonight, but Salem has continued to keep on going. Tough kid.
Bernier taking as much time as he can. Hands it off. Dragging tacklers down to the 32-yard line is Valier. They get third and about 3 for the Eagles. They say 3rd and 2, but I'm going to call it a short 3.
That looks like 3
You
to
could
me.
go short 3, long 2.
Yeah.
Either way, your call. 3:45 remaining in the fourth quarter, 21-0 Windham. They've got the lead and the football. Handoff, Salem breaks through again. 25 down the sidelines, cuts it back into the 15 to the 10. And they're going to say he was stopped inbounds, and they'll stop the clock to move the chains, but another first down for the Eagles.
You have not seen a single player be able to bring him down very many times tonight. It's taken 2, sometimes 3 players. That time took 3 Cheverus Stags to bring Salem into the ground.
Ball is on the 11-yard line.
Impressive night.
And 10 Eagles.
He heard your early whispers of Bernier for the most valuable player here.
Must have. Handoff again, Salem, same run. And this time,
stepped
out of bounds at the 1.
Salem on the carry.
Max Coffin has over 100 yards for Cheverus. How about this one? Lewiston Blue Devils open the season with a 34-21 win over South Portland.
Wow.
Hey now.
How about that?
So both Edward Little and Lewiston 1-0 to start the year.
South Portland and Bangor are 0-1.
Legal procedure against Windham.
Another
penalty on the field.
motion.
I was wondering why it was taking so long because we were wrapped up in our scoreboard talk there, and then I'm like, oh, there's another penalty. The officials just thought they were way too close, so they moved him back. They're moving back now to the 16-yard line. First and 15. You can get down to the 1-yard line for a first down here with 3:09 remaining in the fourth quarter. 21-0 Windham. Handoff, Salem. They're going to run the same play again. He's going to run it down the sidelines. And out of bounds.
Keep running it until they stop it.
Yeah. That's exactly what would have been done on the other side. Wells beat Winthrop Monmouth 46-0. Thornton Academy beat Massabesic 46-6. Washington Academy over Orono 32-0. Bernier gets a snap, hands it off. Salem, he's going to run it off to the left side, follows his blockers. They stop him that time inside the 10 down to the 8. Be 3rd and long.
I think Coach Perkins said, stop bouncing outside the tackle. Make him fall inside the sidelines here and let that clock keep on churning away. 2:40 to go in this game. Windham up 21-0.
Coach Allen just gave me a good point. The Washington Academy coach actually played for the Orono coach.
How about that?
Darth Vader beating Obi-Wan.
Little inside edge there.
A little bit. 2:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. 21-0. Windham with the lead. Salem up the middle, inside the 5. And they'll set up 4th and about 3.
He'll punch it in this time. No, they're going to kick it.
Kick that field goal.
They're going to kick it.
They're going to get that field goal. All right, now I can get one. Now I can get one over to Palmer.
Now the old Cougar skipper will be very happy.
He's going to be so happy. I should tag him on this on Twitter. Oh, he's good.
Ryan Palmer, this one's for you, buddy.
Yeah, this is for you, my friend. As long as Cheverus doesn't try to take it back from that penalty from the last time.
Yeah.
Kick is up, and it's good. 24-0. Windham with the lead over Cheverus. Take a quick break. Actually, no, we won't take a quick break. We'll just stay right here. We'll take a quick break in a moment. We'll be just fine.
I think we're going to take a long break in a moment.
Yes, preferably in a heated car.
Yeah, I'm in.
This is opening night, Steve. It's supposed to be 75. We're supposed to be like, what happened to summer?
Usually we get 2 or 3 games like this a year that are cold, one of them being
the state championship game,
right,
or like the regional finals the week before,
Yep.
you know.
September 1?
Right.
No,
not this time. No.
We'd like to thank Dr. Bean, Ryan Brown, Casey Sinclair, and Orthopedic Associates
Yes.
for all your support and care for our RSU 14 athletes. Thank you.
Dr. Bean actually does a great job with Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the gang. Of course, OA Centers for Orthopedics, now a division of Spectrum Healthcare Partners. That's one of the reasons we always like doing these games.
AKA the Field Bunny. Best of luck tonight as last night at RSU 14. Thank you.
The Field
The
Bunny.
Field Bunny. I didn't hear
Field
that
Bunny.
in pregame. The Field Bunny. Okay.
Dumont, Tompkins, and Crawley deep for Cheverus.
24-0. Windham with the lead. Cheverus will get the kick here with 1:37 remaining, and it goes out of bounds. It's opening night for everybody, even the kickers.
They're going to make him kick it again?
Kickoff goes out of bounds.
They're going to take it.
Oak Hill was up 28-0 at last check. They held on to beat Poland 28-14. Aaron Parody had a 1-yard touchdown run. Tyler Tucci had an 80-yard fumble recovery.
Wow.
Kennebunk over Greeley 26-0 was the final. Dirigo beat Mountain Valley 13-0. Brewer came back to beat Lawrence 21-19.
From their own 35-yard line.
21-19, you said?
21-19. First and 10 for Cheverus at the 35-yard line. Their own 35-yard line. Be interested to see what they do here. They're going to hand it off. That's going to be Cawley, and he's going to get out to the 45-yard line.
Crawley on the carry.
Why'd the clock stop?
Brought down by
Because he got the first down.
Oh, he got the first down.
Yep, so they got to move the chains.
First down.
You're all over that tonight. 1:25 remaining.
I didn't think he got it, but he did.
He did. They gave it to him.
Right at it, yeah. They didn't look very long. Yeah, you got to go ahead. Yeah, first down, go ahead.
I haven't seen Hoffer give the stats yet, but
that's what I was looking for. When Coach was asking us, that's exactly where I went, and I did not see.
Handoff. Is that Lindstedt? Yes, Lindstedt over midfield into Cheverus territory down to the 49-yard line. Cheverus is going to look at the film on this one and might possibly dig it up and bury it. Because there's not a lot of good things here that they're going to be going over.
Yeah.
Mr. Coffin had a really good night, over 100 yards, but no points to show for it. And looks like Cheverus is going to be leaving Windham with no points on the board, falling 24-0. Much less close than the 9-7 game that we had in the regional semis last year.
That is the way it looks right now.
Conan under center. 2nd and 4. 24 seconds remaining. Handoff. Lindstedt again. He goes off left tackle and gets dragged down at the 35-yard line.
It was Lindstedt on the carry, brought down by Jacobson.
Grant Jacobson on the tackle.
3rd down.
And that, my friends, will wrap it up. We'll take a very quick break and we'll come back and close it out. Final score, Windham 24, Cheverus nothing. It's the MBR Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
There's a winning culture when it comes to sports teams in New England. And now there's a new winning team to add to the list. Spectrum Orthopedics, an all-star roster of orthopedic experts delivering top care right here in your backyard. Spectrum Orthopedics is made up of 3 of the area's top orthopedic practices: OA Centers for Orthopedics, Central Maine Orthopedics, and Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Spectrum Orthopedics makes it easier for physicians, surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and clinical staff to share resources and work as one, making patient care efficient and more affordable. To learn more about Spectrum Orthopedics, and connect with a provider in your area. Visit spectrumhcp.com/ortho.
You're listening to a Gleason Media Sports broadcast on WEZR FM Norway, WEZR Lewiston, WOXO South Paris, WOXO FM Mexico, and WTME Rumford.
Do you want to start college this fall but thought it was too late? Central Maine Community College in Auburn is offering a special delayed start fall term with 9 classes beginning in late September. 7 of the classes will meet twice a week on campus and 2 will be online. For more information about this special fall term option, contact admissions at 755-5273 or email enroll@cmcc.edu. Get started today at CMCC, Turner Street in Auburn.
Welcome back. Final score. Cheverus falls to Windham 24-0 in this one. Steve, any final thoughts other than it was opening night?
24-0. It did not look like you take a look at that score and you think, yeah, Windham definitely boat raced them front to back. The game was closer than that 24-point score. It would give you the impression that Windham played a very good game and Cheverus needed to work on some things. I would say I saw equal things from both sides that needed to be worked on. I think Cheverus has a little bit longer way to go, but there were a lot of really line of scrimmage issues that you didn't like to see. I mean, you think about all of those different procedure penalties, all that stuff's got to get worked on and got to get picked up on. On the flip side, a lot of good positives, a lot of good positive. That offensive line and defensive line, that'll be one of the units to keep an eye on all year long here for this Windham football team. If you want to get to the skill guys, you got to get through the line. You got to control those big guys up front, and you know that Perkins is going to just hammer down on that fundamental blocking. It's what got them this 24-point win, and it's what going to carry them the rest of the season.
Your player of the game will be Stuart Salem, and over 200 yards rushing tonight for the Windham Eagles. 24-0, the Windham Eagles with the victory over Cheverus.
Stuart, take an ice bath. You deserved it,
yes,
buddy.
Take a nice ice bath. Take a legitimate ice bath, too. Make sure you stay tuned to MBR social media channels after the game. Johnny Mailer will have highlights from this one as part of our Spectrum Spotlight series. We've been hanging out in the not-so-toasty Spectrum Healthcare broadcast booth. Final score, Windham 24, Cheverus, 0. We'll be back next week. I'll catch you next time here on MBR.org's YouTube channel, MBR Sport for subscriptions, and on Sports Time Maine, Sports Time 780, and Maine's Big Z 92.7. Now back to your regularly scheduled program.